Many of are replaced with shiny new versions. Some historical fields remain. Darlington Raceway is one of those legendary venues. You win here, you made history at a track where history has lived. NASCAR's oldest track, several of the sport's youngest drivers mixed in with our series stars. None of these guys have won at this track. Austin Dillon made his first start last year. They were all chasing the defending winner. There's the guy who has won here, Todd Bodine. It may be an off weekend for some, but not for us. In fact, qualifying just ended mere minutes ago, meaning teams are scrambling to get ready. They know the NASCAR spotlight is solely on them this weekend. The Camping World Truck Series and the Setup, presented by Polaris, are the only NASCAR shows in town. Hello, everyone. I'm Krista Voda. Welcome to the Setup. You know a track is special when it takes two nicknames to describe it. The track Too Tough To Tame or the Lady in Black. Well, judging by the way I'm dressed, you know which one I prefer. We have a lot to get to tonight, covering the garage and the pits for us. As usual, Ray Dunlap and Hermie Sadler. Let's start things off with the corral. Ray?
Well, thank you, Krista. You know, when we go to our next race at Martinsville, we'll use the points from ownership to determine when we'll pick pit stalls. But this weekend, it was qualifying that decided it here at Darlington, and it made a big difference. Cole Witt got the pole. He's in pit stall number 1. The next two fastest trucks took the very next two good pit stalls that had an opening. That could play a big part in the outcome of tonight's race here. Remember, at our last race at Phoenix, pit stall number 1 won the race. Hermie?
Well, you're right, Ray. In the corral also, listen, pit stall selection is very important as well, but also track position at this racetrack, very important, especially for a guy like Cole Witt, who we're going to talk to in a second. You want to run your line on this racetrack and not abuse your car and equipment trying to get to the front. So not only pit stall selection, but track position will be a key. Ray, who you got in the corral?
Parker Kligerman stops by, and I know you were sweating a little bit. You had to qualify in. You had a good run. Tell me how hard you push it in the race tonight.
Well, you know, first off, I went back up to qualify a little bit. You know, we had a better truck than we showed right there, Penske Truck Rental Ram. You know, we had someone spin out when we exited the pits, and so in doing so, we had to come back down to the pits, and there's a bunch of sand and everything that's off the line here, and when we went back out, you know, we'd lost a lot of grip. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I think, you know, the whole team is. We really thought we had a shot at top 5, top 10 qualifying. We worked pretty hard on it in practice, but at the same time, we worked really hard in race. So I think, you know, we've got a truck that can pass, hopefully, and we're going to go out there and give it all we can, and hopefully we can get this Penske Truck Rental Ram up to the front as soon as possible.
Good luck. Go to the front. That is Parker Kligerman, and Krista, just like I was talking about, qualifying is so important here at the Lady in Black.
Yeah, Ray Parker, one of the young guys taking on this old track. He mentioned that sandy surface. We're only about an hour, 60 miles from Myrtle Beach. And, you know, there's a sense of urgency in the air. You know, it's only race number 3, but all of these guys taking on this old track, whether they're young or veterans, they know they need to make an opportunity, take advantage of an opportunity tonight, because the likes of Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, they're not in the field like they were at our last race. Let's take a look back at Phoenix.
As the sun goes down over the Arizona desert, the Truck Series kicks off its second race of the season, under the lights at Phoenix. Clint Boyer starts on the pole with a mirror full of Kyle Busch.
All right, bud, coming to the green. Have fun tonight. Starts on you here.
Green flag in the air. We're underway.
Following you through half back. All clear.
Great start by Clint Boyer, and that opened up the door for Kyle Busch to drive down on the inside of Austin Dillon as well. Those trucks come off turn 2, 1-2.
18 right with you.
Out in front, it's Clint Boyer. Kyle Busch chasing in second.
Motor outside, inside. Portions out, but it's 10 trucks, back or down.
Caution on the racetrack. Caution on the racetrack. It looks as though the 10 has a tire going down.
Open this time by. Turn 3 coming to you.
And sure enough, the hard left turn for the top 2 trucks. That's Clint Boyer out front. Kyle Busch, they're headed your way onto pit road.
All right, boys, coming to you and at the line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wheel straight, foot on the brake.
Clint Boyer said no adjustments on this thing. Give me 4 tires and fuel. He comes in with Kyle Busch right on his bumper. Kyle Busch has pit stall number 1. Kyle's truck was very, very free. He said he felt like he was falling off on times a little bit. The 2 truck spins his wheels a little bit, leaving It'll be a battle off of pit road. He is going to the line. Kyle Busch will be there first.
Go. You got it. Way got beat. That's nice. We'll get that lead back. I've seen you do some pretty wicked restarts here, so we'll be just fine.
An early race caution leads to a battle off pit road, putting Kyle Busch at the head of the field.
Green. Good start. Clear all around. 33 coming with you. Nice and smooth. You're driving away from him a little bit. All right. We did it, boys. Good job. Woo!
Dominating at Phoenix International Raceway.
So neither of our winners this year have earned points in our series. When you look at our top 10 drivers, most of the veterans are missing. Ron Hornaday is 10th, but so many new guys like Miguel Paludo, Cole Witt, and Clay Rogers. The Thorsport tandem is looking strong. Johnny Sauter in 4th. Matt Crafton is the points leader, and I believe Ray is with him.
I am, Krista, and you're right. It's a 10th place and a 7th that's gotten Matt Crafton off to a great start of this season in the points lead. Matt, you got your first big victory at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm wondering how big of a deal would it be for you to get a win here at Darlington?
Darlington would be awesome. I mean, Charlotte was really, really cool, but Darlington, I mean, there's so much history here. I mean, there's so many great race car drivers that have won here. I mean, to have this Menard Chevy in Victory Lane would be big for us. I mean, guys worked really hard over the winter. We weren't very good last time we were here in the fall, and these guys worked really hard and brought back a really, really good piece, and we qualified 4th, so I think we got something for tonight, though.
A lot of history. Crafton's got a lot of experience, and the guy who will lead him to the pole, it's his first time here. Right, Hermie?
You're right, Ray, and Cole Witt is on the pole. Do you have any idea what a big deal it is to be on the pole at a place like Darlington?
I mean, it's a big deal for our team to be on the pole anywhere we go, you know. I mean, after Daytona, you know, this team really dug down deep to bring back a good finish at Phoenix, and, you know, here we are to continue to go forward, and, you know, hopefully we can just stay where we're at and, you know, lead this race. But, you know, to outrun the guys that are sitting right behind us is pretty cool, and, you know, I'm almost lost for words, you know, for us to do what we've done, and this team's, you know, just staying hard and keep rolling forward from here.
Now, these guys have been fast since they unloaded. He'll roll off P1 tonight. Rick? Krista?
That's okay, Herbie. We're looking here at Cole Witt's truck right up here on the pole, and I love hearing him say he's at a loss for words. He might be an open-wheel guy, but the history of this stock car track is certainly not lost on Cole Witt. You know, there are a lot of famous ladies out there. Lady Bird Johnson, Lady Di, Lady Gaga. But the only lady that matters tonight, the lady in black. Now, her surface, well, she's been not as rough as she used to be. She underwent a little bit of a facelift. But young guys like Cole Witt, they know that she's as mean as ever.
I grew up watching races at this track and learning about the Darlington stripe and about, you know, jumping up and getting bit, and it's 100% absolutely true.
It's pretty cool, you know. I mean, it took a little while to get used to 1 and 2 with the different shape and everything. You know, 3 and 4 is way tighter than 1 and 2, so it just took a little while to get used to it.
This place is nuts. It's hard. I mean, I've tested here once, but it's changed so much since I've tested here and stuff like that. I haven't hit the wall.
This is wild. There's nothing I can compare it to that I've ever been on. It's a lot of fun, though.
Took some laps around the track with Matt Crafton, one of the veterans here, and taught me a lot in the truck. And once you get out there going 170 miles an hour, it's a little different deal. Fortunately, we haven't earned our stripe yet, which is good.
We drive the truck very hard here, so it's been cool. I've been really, really close to hitting the wall so far a couple times, so I'm sure I'm going to get it in the race.
Some names of drivers who have yet to tame this track, and this is in any series. I mean, look at those names. You see Kurt Busch. Remember how close he came versus Ricky Craven a few years back? And Phil Parsons, 40 starts here. He knows how tough it is to win, and he's had some very good finishes here as well. We've already told you young guys could be making some serious noise tonight. In fact, it's been the new names who have been getting our thumbs up so far this season. Nelson Piquet Jr. finished 13th in Phoenix. He's raced at Monaco, but never at Darlington. Brad Sweet finished 11th in our last race, and that was big after wrecking in Daytona at our season opener. Justin Johnson, he's the pride of Las Vegas. He made his first career start in Phoenix. And how's this for being a quick learner? 1 start and 1 top 10. Cole Witt loves the desert, at least he does now. He scored a career best finish of 6th in Phoenix. He is our pole sitter tonight. We will hear from more drivers when the setup continues. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. Brought to you in part by Camping World and the Good Sam RV Club. Everything you need for the RV lifestyle, including RVs, accessories, warranties, insurance, roadside assistance, and more. And in high definition by Funai. Funai, fun and innovative. Experience more at FunaiAmerica.com. With 3 international drivers in our field each week, we are especially involved with and aware of world issues. Nelson Piquet is carrying a special decal in support of the victims and families affected by the earthquake and tsunami destruction in Japan and the Pacific. If you would like to help, you can make a $10 donation by texting Red Cross to 90999. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of those who have been affected by this tragedy. Welcome back to the Lady in Black. You know, the Trucks took a 6-year absence before returning to this track last year. And the last guy to win before that was a driver who was making his very first start in the series. Who was it and what happened in that race back in 2004? For the answer, we crack open the vault.
In 2004, the Trucks were ready to take on the Lady in Black for just the 4th time. But another lady, Mother Nature, had other plans. Rain pushed the race to the following night, meaning Cup Series rookie Kasey Kahne had to wait one more day to make his Truck Series debut. As soon as the green flag flew, history was made. This was the first race ever run under the lights at Darlington Raceway. Bobby Hamilton Jr. immediately jumped to the lead, but many wondered if family loyalty would cost him a win.
Bobby has a good shot at winning this race, but will he win this race if he has to race his dad? Because remember, the other Bobby Hamilton is looking for a championship.
And if it comes down to the Square D Dodge behind us, the whole plan is for Square D Dodge to get all the points, so I'll finish second. But if I don't see him in the mirror and I got a chance to win, we're going.
Kasey Kahne and Bobby Hamilton Jr. swapped the lead for much of the race, but late cautions led to a green-white checkered finish with Kahne leading.
Number 1, Armor.
Bobby Jr. and Sr. were right behind, both on fresher tires.
Oh, he brought him down slow, Rick. Oh, problem! He's Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets spun around. Bobby Hamilton Sr. takes him to the junior line and problems behind them. David Bruneman hitting very hard into the side of the 59 of Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Bobby Jr. missed a shift. Looks like he missed a shift, and Bobby Sr. had no way to avoid that.
Everyone was able to climb out unharmed, and Kahne climbed out in victory lane in his first ever Truck Series race. The Trucks would not return to the track Too Tough To Tame for another 6 years.
I think it would be fair to say that Kasey Kahne has a pretty good record in trucks, 2 wins and a 2nd place. But I guess my question is, this is an off weekend for Cup. You could be in the Caribbean. What are you doing at Darlington?
I just want to race. This is a great track. The Truck Series is a lot of fun to race in, and to drive for Kyle Busch and Toyota, ASE, all the guys that are part of his deal it's nice. I mean, I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun, and he has great equipment and fast trucks.
18 truck, very, very fast tonight. Hermie?
On the KHI vehicle, you got that going for you. And we just talked to Kasey Kahne. You guys seem to have a lot of 1-2 finishes in the past. Got another one in store tonight?
Well, we hope so. We were talking about that. The last 3 wins I have in NASCAR, Casey's finished second. So I'm glad he's racing tonight if he finishes second. But you know, those guys are pretty fast. We're actually pretty happy with our Armor Food Chevrolet too. It's go to armorpitstop.com. They got a lot of cool stuff going on there to help you save some money on fuel. And got a lot of good race fans here tonight. Glad Speed's here. Hopefully we'll have a good show.
That's Elliott Sadler. He rolls off 8th tonight.
Thanks, Hermie. Sadler and Kahne once again in the field, but we have star power in the booth as well. Michael Waltrip is over in France testing for Le Mans, so that means Rick Allen and Phil Parsons tonight are joined by, drum roll, Larry McReynolds. Larry never takes a weekend off, Rick.
Well, when you said star power, I knew you had to be talking about Larry McReynolds. Now, we're also going to start talking about experience, and we can also talk about Larry McReynolds with that word, but experience versus inexperience at this racetrack is really difficult, Phil.
Well, it really is, and those are the guys with the most experience here, Kasey Kahne and Elliott Sadler. You know they're going to be good. You know they're going to be up front. We have 16 drivers that have never raced here before in anything. and led by the group, leading that group is Cole Witt, who had the pole. So it's not a situation where you can't do well here, but it makes it extremely difficult because this racetrack is extremely difficult, Larry.
Well, we're trying to run speeds about twice of what this place was designed to run. And I think as some drivers found out in practice, it's almost too narrow to run by yourself. And you're going to be sliding around throughout this entire 147 laps. The big thing you learn at an early part of your career here is a lot of give and take, more giving than taking. Now, that works for about 137 laps. With 10 to go, it's more taking than giving.
Well, I'm going to give it back to Krista.
Ah, very nice. And all about the experience, you know, talking about a young guy like Cole Witt on the pole with the experience of Casey Kane, a former winner at this track, alongside. But hey, I was really appealed by something that Johnny Sauter said earlier. He said that he doesn't just want to win here, he needs to win here. I'm a late model racer till I die, and this is a late model racer's track. It's old school at its best, something young drivers are about to find out. Stick around, we've got a lot more here in Darlington. You're watching Speed. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. Brought to you in high definition by Funai. Funai, fun and innovative. Experience more at funaiamerica.com. And by AT&T.
Dana Dodge doing some Dana Donut. And out of turn 4, Ted Musgrave will come across by 4 trumpets and win over Robert Presley.
And we're going to do a low burn out right here, bud.
His first victory as well, Casey Kane.
Comes out of turn number 4. He'll go back-to-back in the Camping World Truck Series.
It's NASCAR's oldest track, yet the trucks have only been here 5 times. Even with so few races, there have been some great finishes. When the day started, these walls were clean. They are now stamped with tattoos of practice incidents. Black stripes give this track a whole new look. You know, Austin Dillon recently decided that his teammate Joey Coulter also needed a whole new look. Joey came over to the Truck Series from the ARCA Series, so Austin, along with his brother Ty, gave Joey Coulter a makeover.
We're here early in the morning at Paul Simon, trying to get Joey a new look. I'm going to look for some new clothes and getting a new style for 2011. It's a little more professional than we're used to. Yeah, I really do like the shirt.
Sport coat over this, and you dress it up a little bit with some nice slacks.
A sport coat, so I've never worn a sport coat out. You guys are going to have to show us in the right direction with that. I don't know if we could go to the racetrack like this, but we might go out.
Shoot, if it was fire retardant, I'd race in it.
Here's Joey's pants. Are you kidding me? Here's yours. Joey, Ty's hooking you up, man.
I think Ty's colorblind, but we'll give him a shot.
I'm rocking cowboy boots with shorts. This is wrong. This is so wrong. I can't rock shorts. Looks like the second part of it's going to be getting a haircut, and I hate to break it to you guys, but we're going to have to get our eyebrows trimmed. All right.
You guys better be good back there.
You just wait. You got twice as much as he's got to go through.
Oh.
If I cry, don't air it.
Oh.
It sounds like bones breaking every time.
Oh my gosh.
Stop moving your forehead. Sit there and take it. Little brother going through some torture is always good.
I tried to make it seem as easygoing as possible so Ty and Austin would kind of relax and then go through the same amount of pain.
Look at she gets one of the big ones that's connected to your brain. I was trying to be tough. I made it through the torture. Let's get a haircut now.
I told her, I said, you're the professional, you tell me, I've never done this before. So she did a great job picking out a style that I think works really well. I like it better than what I used to do with it.
Joey's getting a whole new outfit right here. Rock star mentality. We're getting G'd up from the feet up. Dude, it looks
like
good,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
All we need is some boots, right?
Yeah. But we're now at my favorite, and that's Bass Pro Shops. If you can't find what you need here, you might as well stay at home.
He's definitely one of the most professional drivers on or off the racetrack.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon.
You know, him kind of showing me how it all works and where to go, what to buy, that kind of just shows that even more.
Thinking that one. All right. I think Pop will be proud of you. RC will be happy.
All right.
Now the whole truck team's wears cowboy boots.
I think a lot of it just makes the sponsors proud. You know, they can take any picture from anywhere, but this is our driver. You know, this is our driver when he's at the racetrack. This is our driver when he's on vacation. This is somebody took a picture of our driver at an airport and look how nice he looks. You know, not kind of laid back like I used to look. It's real important, you know, for your sponsors to have that image of a professional driver everywhere, not just at the racetrack.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, the eyebrow plucking part, that was tough for me. The makeover went really, really well. I know that was a lot of fun. How does an eyebrow plucking compare to trying to get around Darlington Speedway?
Well, I don't know how painful Darlington is yet. I know the eyebrow plucking is pretty painful, but this place is tough. This is definitely the toughest racetrack I've ever been to. You know, but I figure if I can survive a makeover like that, we can handle it here.
We appreciate you playing along. Joey Coulter got a 9th place finish at Phoenix, hoping to survive tonight here at the Lady in Black. Krista?
What's happening? This is supposed to be the Manly Series. Someone else to keep an eye on tonight, Timothy Peters. He finished 2nd to Todd Bodine last year. And Timothy Peters likes hair gel. What's happening? We're not done setting you up just yet. We will wrap things up and get you ready to go racing next. A great crowd on hand. Welcome to the Truck Series fraternity. Look at those fans.
On the circuit, Martinsville Speedway. Last October, after 16 attempts, Ron Hornaday got his first win in Martinsville and took home the grandfather clock. Could he do it again? Tune in to find out. Chris Devoda hosts the setup starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.
Speed has had action all day from 4 wheels to 2 following our race, the AMA Supercross Series. What a wild season it's been. Then go into the Speed Center where Adam Alexander gets you caught up on everything, and we'll show you the conclusion of the Daytona 200. Well, the lady is getting restless. It's still about 2 months before Cup cars are here, but she opens her arms for the trucks tonight. But beware, those arms can be as suffocating as they are welcoming. We have a young guy, Cole Witt, on the pole with experience. Casey Kane alongside in the front row. Plenty of star power, plenty of veterans, and new guys at one of NASCAR's most historical tracks. Get ready to hold your breath. Keep your arms inside at all times because the Too Tough to Tame 200 on Speed starts now.
To be the best, you must be able to control what is uncontrollable, to tame what is untamable. Some say that the Lady in Black is too tough to tame. The Darlington Raceway has been known to eat trucks alive. With narrow straightaways, drivers get pulled together like magnets, rubbing and scraping as they fight for position. In the turns, the red and white striped walls suck the trucks to the outside, littering them with black tire rubber. For a driver to leave Darlington as a winner, they must possess the mental toughness of a champion. Only a handful of drivers have had that toughness. Who will be next? And who will fear the Lady in Black?
Reputation precedes it. Darlington Raceway hosted its first race in 1950, and drivers have spent the last 60 years trying to figure out how to stay off the outside wall. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Too Tough to Tame 200 on Speed. NASCAR's toughest series takes center stage for our third race of the season on one of the toughest tracks of all time. Experience at this track pays huge dividends, and only half the field has any experience at the Lady in Black. Casey Kane is back in the truck driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports. That potent combination could be too tough to pass at this 1 1/3 track. But last year, it was Truck Series champion Todd Bodine who went to victory lane. And this year, trying to overcome a rough start, nothing would be better than the Darlington Trophy. Now let's get underway with our pre-race ceremonies. We go trackside.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the South Carolina Air National Guard Base Honor Guard present our nation's colors. Now let's take a moment of silence to honor those lost in the horrific earthquake and tsunami that devastated Japan this week. Please remain standing as Reverend W.L. Collins offers today's invocation.
Pray with me. Our Father, we bow in your presence. We recognize and acknowledge your presence in our lives. We do lift these who are suffering as a result of the disaster in Japan and other places. We thank you, dear Lord, for this beautiful day. We acknowledge, dear Lord, you're the giver of it. And I pray that you will be with us this afternoon. Protect and guard those who are driving and the others who are caring for them. Thank you for your love and most of all for your Son, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Now please welcome Master Sergeant Tressie Anderson Bolden from Pope Air Force Base as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it for Master Sergeant Tressie Anderson Bolden and the C-17 from the 315th Airlift Wing,
Great crowd.
Charleston Air Force Base, called in by Senior
The
Airman
track
Brandon
too tough to tame. Will it be experience, or could we see a rookie make it to victory lane for the first time? The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World and the Good Sam RV Club. Everything you need for the RV lifestyle, including RVs, accessories, warranties, insurance, roadside assistance, and more. And by Rent-A-Center, where you never need credit and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. Let's go back trackside to Chris Devoto.
Thanks, Rick. And if these walls could talk, they would spill the stories of our sport. What to look for tonight? How about experience versus the lack thereof? We've talked about all the young guys that are in this field. Who will get a Darlington stripe tonight? When we came on the air with the setup, qualifying had literally just ended. The quick turnaround adds an extra sense of urgency. The Camping World Truck Series is the only show in this town or any other. Your favorite Cup drivers may be off, but they and fans around the world are watching. And you can probably hear the jet dryers on the track getting us ready to go. Every track, boys, has a personality. This one is a biker chick, but don't you dare call her a chick. She's also a lady.
Definitely a lady in black. Welcome everyone. Larry McReynolds, Phil Parsons, Rick Allen with you. Now I want to prep myself here. This is a pretty important night, isn't it, here for a few guys, Larry?
Well, it's Saturday night. It's date night, and we love date night. And for 16 drivers, this will be their first date with the lady in black. So will it be a good date, or will it be one they want to forget? And you know what? About halfway through this date, they may think things are going really good, and the old lady will just reach out there and just grab you. Those walls will just suck you right in.
And a lot of these drivers want that date to be late in the race with track position. This racetrack is so sensitive to track position, you want to be up front. That's why it gives such a huge advantage to the drivers that have qualified up front. This race has never been won out of the top 10 but one time, and that was because they rained out qualifying. Bobby Hamilton Sr. won that race. So extremely important to be up front and stay up front. We're going to pit a couple times here. They actually gave these guys an extra set of right side tires. That may come into play later, but you want to have your tires on and be in the right place at the right time towards the end of this race, and that's up front.
And very impressive in qualifying earlier, Cole Witt, the young man in just his fourth start, will start on the pole tonight. Now let's get the engines fired. We go for the command.
Race fans, please welcome your South Carolina lower state champions, the Darlington High School Falcons varsity basketball team, as they give the command.
Drivers, start your engine!
The command was exciting. The fans are about to get out of their seat to cheer on the crowd as they come to the green flag. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Too Tough to Tame 200 on speed. Darlington Raceway is the site of race number 3. An absolutely gorgeous evening. 61 degrees, clear skies, and just a slight breeze. And a crowd on hand that will rival nationwide and cup crowds here at this racetrack. Just full grandstand. Our starting grid rolls across the top of the screen. Young Cole Witt grabs the pole in just his fourth start. Casey Kane, who won this race back in 2004, will start on his outside. Let's take a look at our Hamburger Helper track description.
What an amazing racetrack here. This racetrack was built in 1950. The pole for that first race, 82 miles an hour. It was reconfigured back in 1969. Larry, it used to be half this wide. Now it's 30 feet wide.
The description, very deceiving. You look at it, you say it's a symmetrical racetrack. It is nothing about symmetrical. The two ends are totally different from each other.
Take a look at our Scott's Roundup race analysis.
As you can see, 36 trucks will start this race, 147 laps, 200 miles. You see the pit window, Larry, about 54 to 58 laps. More than likely, if things fall right, we'll see 2 pit stops and then finish this thing.
But you might want to grab those fresh tires late.
One of the big stories that we're talking about here at Darlington are the drivers that are here for the very first time. And it is a list of 16, so an extremely long list of drivers that are making their first ever Darlington start.
Yeah, that means any division. That means Nationwide Cup or here in the Camping World Truck Series.
Included on this list is our pole sitter, Cole Witt, here for the first ever time, and he won the pole. Now we want to shine a spotlight on a few of these drivers that are making their first ever start. We start with Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. I'd like to take a look at Miguel Paludo. He drives the number 7 for Red Horse Racing. And I'll tell you what, Miguel has been fantastic when he drove in Porsche Cup. He won championships there, but his dream has always been to be in stock cars. When he went to Daytona, he got a 4th place finish, but he knows he has a lot of respect for this racetrack. And earlier today, his spotter, Terry Cook, told him, I'll try to talk you through the passing zones and when to get ready to make that pass and anticipate it. Miguel said, I can't hardly wait. Hermie?
Well, thank you, Ray. We're in Darlington, South Carolina. Why not talk about an Earnhardt? Jeffrey Earnhardt, what a great season it's been so far. 7th at Daytona, 19th at Phoenix, 7th in points, but today has been a trying day for Jeffrey Earnhardt. He crashed his fuel doctor truck in practice. He will go to a backup truck. That truck did not make a qualifying lap on the racetrack. He was locked into the show. I got a chance to speak with Jeffrey right before I came over. He said, I'm going to try to do the same thing I've done all year to get me this far. Stay cool, stay calm, and try to get what I can from this lady in black. Phil?
Hermie, I want to take a look at 20-year-old Westport, Connecticut driver Parker Kligerman. What a great breakout season in 2009 for Parker. 9 wins in the ARCA Racing Series. He finished second points by 5 points. He won the pole that year at Kansas in his first ever nationwide start. This is his 4th truck start. He finished 9th at his first truck start at Texas last year. He finished 15th at Daytona, had trouble at Phoenix and finished 32nd. Good news, that Penske truck rental, yellow, is on this truck for the entire season. And Larry, he will start this race from the 18th spot.
All right, who I want to take a look at is 25-year-old Brad Sweet, driving for Turner Motorsports. He's going to start the race in the 21st position, running a limited schedule. Now, earlier today in qualifying, he's going to start 21st. This was lap 2. His date with the lady almost went bad right there. Saved it, didn't hit anything. Remember, his boss in sprint and midget cars, Casey Kane, he's been wearing Casey Kane out this week about what you need to do at Darlington.
What do you need to do? What is the recipe for success? Well, let's take a look at our Walmart recipe for success. And we'll start with Ray Dunlap. What's the good ingredient here at this track?
Armor, that's it, Rick. You gotta love Vienna sausages. You know they're great to eat, but I'll tell you what, they're hard to beat. And anytime they've been on sponsorship for Kevin Harvick Incorporated, they've gone to victory lane. All 4 races. Today, Elliott Sadler hopes to make it number 5. Hermie?
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Every time you come to Darlington, you think about tires. Today's been a little bit of a different day as far as tires in the garage. We've even seen some of the teams scuff tires. You can see this tire right here in Ron Hornaday's pit. It has been scuffed on the racetrack. And we also heard Phil Parsons say these teams had the option of buying 2 more right side tires. So we'll see if tire management plays a key tonight. Rick?
Thanks, Hermie. Crowd on their feet as the field makes its way out of turn number 4. We're about to get underway with a Too Tough to Tame 200. Green flag in the air, we're underway. A drag race into turn number 1. Casey Kane and Cole Witt. Problems early on in turn number 1. Around goes the 7. That is Miguel Paludo. Sideways, as well as Max Pappas in the 9.
Travis Kvapil, the 5 truck,
the bad luck
as well.
Continues for Travis Kvapil.
I think this is what you have when you have 2 trucks, 2 drivers trying to run side by side, even at the start of the race.
Remember, this racetrack, a lot of damage to Miguel Paludo's truck. This racetrack, 30 feet wide. These drivers are used to racing racetracks that are 60 feet wide.
And in practice earlier today, Phil, we didn't see any side-by-side racing. So we talk about 16 people who are here for the first ever time, and then we try to line them up 2 by 2, 36 trucks. Let's take a look at what happened.
Looks like the 50 truck of TJ Bell got in the left rear quarter of Travis Kvapil, but that's actually aftermath. There was a situation that happened in front of this right here. You see Miguel Paludo in the 9 of Max Pappas around.
It's almost like something happened up in front of these drivers here that caused them to start stacking up, though.
Looks like a chain reaction deal, it looked like.
Yeah, I saw Carmichael in the 4 truck up there. I saw him starting to stack up, and I think it just chain reaction all the way back through it.
There's an onboard from Timothy Peters got into the left rear quarter pedal top out, and that may have seized them up enough for that aftermath.
I think that's exactly what started it. It all started up in front of them.
There's Ricky Carmichael's onboard camera. You see right in front of them, truck's already into the outside wall, sliding down the racetrack. Ricky does a nice job getting by on the outside. There's another view. That's David Starr, the black truck that was against the wall. He got into the 7 truck of Miguel Paludo, but I think exactly like we were talking about when we saw that contact earlier between the 30 truck of Ty Bodine and the 17 of Timothy Peters. I think that slowed the field down enough that then it was a chain reaction.
Saw Justin Lofton in the 77 truck spinning. He has had a heck of a day here at Darlington.
What an amazing day Justin Lofton has had. That's number 4 now for Justin Lofton as far as going around. Stay with us. We'll get the restart in just a moment. Welcome back. Field 2 by 2 as they come out of turn number 4. We're going to try it again. Cole Witt on the outside, Casey Kane on the inside. Preferred line around this racetrack, the top of the track. Green flag back in the air.
Single file is the preferred way around this racetrack.
Casey Kane stays on the inside of that 60 of Cole Witt as they work through 1 and 2.
You get such a good run off of turn 2 when you're in the high side like Cole Witt in a 60 truck that time.
Kane battling back on the inside as they go into turn 3. A little tighter down here in 3 and 4.
How about Cole Witt able to squirt ahead from the outside?
Here comes Hornaday to the bottom of the racetrack trying to make the move. He makes it 3 wide at the stripe.
It better be about 1 wide by the time they get to turn 1.
Yeah, they better get that figured out by the time they get down to the other end.
It was sorted out. Now Matt Crafton looks to the inside of Ron Hornaday as those two battle for the 5th position.
You know, Larry, normally this racetrack is give and take. It looks like these guys are racing with 10 laps to go already.
I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier. They know it's a short race, 147 laps, 200 miles.
Elliott Sadler driving the 2 this week for Kevin Harvick Incorporated.
Timothy Peters making the pass on Parker Clement. That moves Timothy up into the top 10.
We saw earlier that incident. Timothy Peters actually got into the back of the 30. Oh, sideways goes the 10. And Chase Mattioli will bring out caution number 2. Matter of fact, he goes to the bottom of the racetrack, and so the caution doesn't come out. Again, the high line around this racetrack is where you will see most of the trucks run, so he is out of the racing groove.
Look at all that asphalt down there. It looks like it's wide, right? Not all of that's raceable, but certainly if the trucks are down there, they're out of the way.
So Chase Mattioli is sideways. He's slow on the backstretch, trying to make it back onto pit road, and they continue to race by him. Cole Witt out in front of Casey Kane.
Casey Kane in that 18 truck, he's starting to reel Witt in that 60 truck just a little bit.
How impressive has Cole Witt been, though, Larry?
Only his 4th start in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
And never been here. He's one of the 16 that has never been here.
Those two stay nose to tail as they go down the backstretch. Cole Witt just in front of Casey Kane, separated by less than 0.2 of a second.
Casey was the quickest truck that last lap, as you can see him reel in the 60 of Cole Witt.
You know, this is the first time Cole Witt has led a lap in the Camping World Truck Series.
Did it at Darlington.
And he's doing it at one of the toughest that the Truck Series goes to.
And holding his own right there. There's a good battle for the 9th position. Jason White, the 23 truck. Timothy Peters sat on the pole here last year and finished 2nd in this race.
Now he's looking to get that position. He goes to the inside as they go down the backstretch and into 3.
Good move early on so far for the 17 of Timothy Peters.
Is that where you have to pass? Is that a textbook pass coming out of either 2 or 4?
That's where you start the pass. That's where you start setting them up, and then you take the entire length of the straightaway and you try to complete the pass entering the next corner.
And that's where the give and take is. If you make a run on somebody, you pull up beside them, you get down to the next corner, they really should give way here and let you have the corner getting in.
Good run by the 51 of Justin Johnson trying to reel in that 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
62 of Brendan Gaughan. That South Point Toyota leads that pack. He's running 13th right now.
And Brendan Gaughan, that 62 truck, he's one of a few trucks, few drivers comes in here. They've dug themselves a little bit of a hole in the points even after 2 races. Brendan comes in here 19th in the points.
Currently running 13th on the racetrack. He's got Ricky Carmichael all over his back bumper, though. Battle for 11th, Parker Kligerman, and the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. Again, amazingly enough, names that you don't normally hear battling on this racetrack early with very little experience here.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the majority of our first timers here. We had 17 that came here for the first time, 16 of those able to make the race. A lot of those drivers really, really fast. Obviously, Cole Witt being the fastest of them.
Saw the 57 of Norm Benning a little bit slower on the bottom of the racetrack.
We're 13 laps into this race, and we've got caution.
Caution comes out into the wall in turns 3 and 4. Now just coming off of the wall, making the hard left turn is the 32. That is Brad Sweet. So Sweet got up into the wall in turns 3 and 4. You see the damage to the right side of that truck.
Remember, Larry, you talked about his qualifying problem, spinning out on lap number 2, but pretty significant contact there for the Grape Clips Chevrolet out of the Turner Motorsports stable.
Yeah, he hit it with both ends, and there's going to be, I think, some substantial suspension damage there on that 32 truck.
Just got a little bit loose, got sideways, had to chase it up the hill. A lot of times you can get away with that if you have a 60-foot wide racetrack, but not here on this 30-foot wide Darlington.
Riding with Matt Crafton here in the 88 truck, I think you'll be able to look ahead of him.
That was another truck that actually got the Darlington stripe.
That's not unusual at Darlington. You'll have them getting stripes 2 or 3 at a time.
This track is giving them out. Well, I'm sure they're going to be giving them out by the dozens before this one's done. Brad Sweet into the wall.
With enough talent and dedication, any of these race cars can take a NASCAR home tracks driver wherever they want to go.
Wednesday on the new hit reality series Car Warriors, the All-Stars go big with an over-the-top design for a Datsun 240Z. But a team of young guns wants to prove the old dogs are all bark and no bite. Don't miss an all-new Car Warriors. That's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Speed.
What do you think? Maybe we should get a group together and challenge them sometime, Larry?
As long as we don't mind losing all we've got.
Are you going to be the old dogs? Well, how about it? We got a lucky dog here. The Aaron's lucky dog goes to Norm Benning, so he'll get a lap back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Too Tough to Tame 200 on Speed from Darlington Raceway. Now, once again on this restart, we see Cole Witt. The leader of the race gets to choose if they want the inside or outside line. He chooses outside once again.
I like that call here because, number one, he's the one that's going to restart this race. The leader restarts this race. But how about Justin Lofton here? Talk about a bad day. This is practice earlier on this morning. You see him spin.
This was about 10 minutes into the first practice this morning.
And then this is final practice. Up into the outside wall, scrapes it along.
Quite as lucky that time as he was earlier.
And guys, just now on pit road, you see Norm Benning finishing up his pit work, our lucky dog. He's going to get done. He's going to pull out. Just go ahead, Norm. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Justin.
And don't forget, he was actually involved in that first caution back on lap 1 as well.
Tough day for the 77. Green flag back in the air. Great restart for Cole Witt.
Look at everybody fight to get up to the top of the racetrack.
Now a battle for second. James Busher on the outside of that 18. But Casey Kane takes the second spot. Busher drops back to third.
You know, right before that last caution, I'd watched the scoring monitor. Casey Kane, his 13th lap was faster than the old track record. I think he's just sitting back there kind of waiting on that young 18-year-old Cole Witt to possibly make a mistake.
He hasn't made many mistakes
so far today. No, he has not.
Field stretches out as they make their way back into one. You see Timothy Peters on the inside of that 3 of Austin Dillon. He slides in front.
I'll tell you, that truck of Timothy Peters is on the move now. We talk about this racetrack being pretty tough to pass on. Timothy Peters has made some nice passes.
13, 33, and 88. 3 Chevrolets nose to tail here. Sauter, Hornaday, and Crafton.
Right now we have 1 Toyota running in the top 8. That's obviously Casey Kane in second. The rest of them, all Chevrolets.
Casey Kane in the 18 is just a little quicker than Cole Witt in that 60. I think he's just trying to find out where can I start the pass and complete the pass.
Is it too early? I mean, you mentioned earlier biding his time. Does he ride around behind Cole Witt and let Cole Witt set the pace here at the track?
How about this side-by-side battle and a little contact between Hornaday and Sauter? That's a battle for
no
fourth.
love lost between these two, by the way. Ron Hornaday takes the pass from Johnny Sauter in Kansas. Remember, Johnny Sauter was leading. Hornaday got into him. They did a simultaneous slide, and it ended up being Sauter and then Hornaday 1 and 2 at Kansas.
Here comes Elliott Sadler, though, in that 2 truck. While these guys have been battling, he's starting to come into this picture here.
Teammates going side by side. Crafton on the inside of Johnny Sauter.
Johnny was really slow through the center of the corner there.
Let's go down to Herming.
Yeah, you guys just saw Ron Hornaday take the 4th position on the racetrack. They did not pit, as did any of the leaders on the last caution. Hornaday only saying right now that his truck has been loose and complaining a little bit about not being able to see because of the sunlight. Also, you see Todd Bodine making his way back through the pack. caution before last, he came to pit road for 4 tires, had a vibration. So to be on the safe side, Mike Hillman Jr. put 4 tires on the 30 truck, Ray.
And Hermie, the guys were talking about Timothy Peters making some moves. Peters had some trouble in practice earlier today. They found out that they had a lower right control arm that was bent, and whenever it was bent, it was giving him false information about what the truck was doing. Once they made that change, they had to start completely from scratch. It was almost like 2 very separate practices. So Timothy Peters said he really likes the way his truck is coming off the corner, and it has great forward bite.
You know,
moving forward, too.
I want to go back to that 30 truck of Todd Bodine that Hermie was just reporting on. He has picked up about 20-something positions since that last restart. In fact, he just made it back into the top 10 with this 30 truck, and I've been watching his lap times. With the exception of traffic, he's got about the 3rd quickest truck right now.
Problem on the backstretch is Brendan Gaughan going around in the 62, and that will bring out our 3rd caution.
I'm not sure he made any contact with anything. Brendan gets the truck refired, will remain on the lead lap.
Down the backstretch, Brendan Gaughan was sideways, throwing up a lot of smoke. But as you mentioned, Phil, it doesn't look like any damage to the truck.
You know, Larry, we're 25 laps in right now to this race. These guys can go about 55 laps, somewhere in that range. If you come in now, they could make this a 1 more stop race if you stretch it a little bit.
Here's Carmichael riding just behind that 62 as they come out of turn number 2.
Brendan just makes a little contact with a 23 at Jason White, and I think he just yanked the steering wheel left to keep him spinning out to Jason White. Does a nice job keeping that truck out of the inside wall.
You talked about how narrow this place is, Phil. It's not very often, and we saw it with Brad Sweet, the 32 truck qualifying, that you can spin out here on the exit of the corner and not hit either the outside wall, the inside, or even both.
You know, one of the other things, a factor that's going to be coming into play and potentially came into play a little bit with Brendan Gaughan is the sun. When they come out of turn number 2, that sun is getting low enough now that it's going to be right in their eyes.
Yeah, we're going to have to be dealing with that for quite a number of more laps.
Guys up on the wall getting ready for the trucks to make their way onto pit road.
That's the Casey Kane team of Kyle Busch Motorsports right there. Again, we've completed 26 laps. That'll be 27. That'll leave 120 laps. We know the pit window somewhere between 54 and 58 with a couple caution laps thrown in. These guys may be able to do this on 1 stop from stopping right here.
Rick, there's the sun you're talking about as we ride with Timothy Peters in the 17 truck. And of course, this is up on the roof, but this is still basically what the driver is dealing with right now.
Yeah, look at the shield of Carmichael, that reflection off of there. That's what he's got to deal with.
And most of these drivers had to prepare themselves for this race finishing at night under the lights. That's the reason we see a lot of clear shields.
And here comes the field onto pit road. And it looks as though all the trucks are making their way down pit road, Herbie.
Yeah, Ron Hornaday is in the top 5. He's bringing the 33 truck down to pit road a little bit free right now. But the biggest concern is get a tear off this windshield, having a hard time seeing. 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment for Ron Hornaday. Ray?
You know, same thing down here, Hermie. Lots of people saying the visibility is absolutely terrible on the racetrack. Big conversation between Eric Phillips and Casey Kane. What should we do here? Kane said, I've got to have some tires. Let's do it. Let's put tires on this thing and see if it brings it to life. They go with fuel coming around. They'll do 4 for sure. The Red Bull Toyota is in, Chevrolet, is in at the front. Casey Kane will be ready to come out of his pit. It looks like Elliott Sadler and the 3 both got away early. The 18 will be 3rd off pit road, and the 60 losing multiple positions here, about 10 spots. Cole Witt came in the leader. He'll go out 12.
Boy, the real winner, Austin Dillon in that 3 truck. Gained 7 spots.
Also up front will be Elliott Sadler coming off in the 2 truck. So Elliott Sadler and Austin Dillon look to be the ones who were first off of pit road. When we come back, the green flag once again. Monday night, you can't miss the hub. Elliott Sadler, who's currently leading this race, joins Steve Burns to discuss all the action from the truck race in Darlington. Plus, will give you the ultimate setup heading into Bristol. NASCAR Race Hub, Monday night, 7 Eastern, only on Speed.
Larry Mack, you think on the old Darlington that we would have ever seen somebody change 2 tires?
Absolutely not, but that looks like what Elliott Sadler and that 2 truck did, and Austin Dillon. Not a bad call, but as we see Chas Mattioli that got the Aaron's lucky dog on this 3rd caution, because we'd run 24 laps, but a third of those laps had been under caution, 8 of them.
Ray, what happened on pit road?
Well, just exactly what Larry was saying. These guys gambled on a 2-tire stop basically because the position they were in. The track position is so important. Elliott Sadler says, give me 2 this time. He was a little bit tight. They made an air pressure adjustment on the right sides. Austin Dillon likes the way his truck comes off, has good forward bite. They went with 2 tires. But for the 60, leader Cole Witt, they had lug nuts fell off the left rear. And when that happened, the lug nuts actually went underneath the truck. That's why their pit stop took so long. Guys?
Difficult situation for our early race leader. Now it's Elliott Sadler who dictates the pace as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Sadler and Dillon side by side to the stripe.
But this is where Cole Witt in the 60 truck now starts to go to school. He hadn't had to race nobody up to this point.
Yeah, we know he's fast. We know he can get around here fast, but now he's mired back in traffic. What's he going to do now to try to get back to the front? Right now he's pulling to the inside of Johnny Sauter and driving by him off for turn 2 down the backstretch.
James Buescher and Austin Dillon racing side by side for 2nd. Behind them, it's the 33 and the 18, Hornaday and Kane.
And where this battle will get interesting is going off into turn 1 with Dillon in the 3 truck on the inside.
James Buescher on the outside, trying to hold his line. Austin Dillon moves up, a little contact made. They go back to single file.
No matter how much you're turning that steering wheel, the truck just keeps wanting to go to the wall.
Centrifugal force just takes that truck to the outside for sure. You know, we talk about the groove here. What a nice move by Casey Kane to the inside of the 3 of Austin Dillon. We talk about these trucks running up against the wall because that's just where they go, as we see Ron Hornaday take advantage of the slowed momentum of Austin Dillon.
Take a look just about a lap ago. 13 of Johnny Sauter involved in this, as well as the 60 of Cole Witt. There's some more contact.
A little contact, a little sideways by Cole Witt on the inside. We talked about it. Remember how good he was out front. Now he's back in traffic. He's back in some dirty air. That truck may not be doing the same thing that it was when he was out front.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's been in traffic at all today, even throughout all of practice. We didn't hardly see any drivers in traffic.
Nose to tail here. Parker Kligerman in the 29 just in front of that 13. Looked like a little contact made there as they work their way down the backstretch and into 3.
And there's that 60 of Cole Witt. Looks like he's going to follow Johnny Sauter to the inside of Parker Kligerman. He does make that pass.
Those 2 moving up now
to the 8th and the 9th positions.
Casey Kane got around James Buescher, moved up into the 2nd spot now. So it's Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane, James Buescher, Ron Hornaday, and Austin Dillon your top 5. Then Bodine, Peters, Sauter, Witt, and Kligerman your top 10.
Remember last year at Pocono, these 2 guys ran 1-2.
Oh, sliding around. It's the 51 of Justin Johnson. And contact with the inside wall. Just as that was happening, Casey Kane was trying to take the lead away from Elliott Sadler. We'll have to see if NASCAR allows that pass, because we'll have to find out when the caution came out.
Yeah, and they don't. It's not a judgment call.
Right.
They will go back to the last transponder scoring loop, and wherever the 18 and the 2 were at the point of caution, when they cross that loop, that's what it'll be.
Take another look at why the 51 went around.
See him on the inside. He's going to go to the inside of the 1 of Jeffrey Earnhardt coming off turn number 2.
Coming off such a great finish at Phoenix a week or 2 weeks ago.
Got his left sides down on the flat of the racetrack. Remember, that looks like raceable surface down there. It's the apron. Basically, it's banked a lot less.
So it's the 4th caution and a lot of damage to the front end of the Vision Airlines number 51 of Justin Johnson. Crowd back up on their feet. Great racing here at Darlington. Wednesday on Speed, Car Science goes into overdrive. Get the lowdown on a Jet Car Super Van. See how the hottest female race car driver handles dangerous curves. Car Science is all new this Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Speed. Welcome back. We had our 4th caution come out. It was the 51 of Justin Johnson going around, making contact with the inside wall, and a lot of damage to the front end of that truck.
We saw Casey Kane make the pass just as the caution was coming out. NASCAR reviewed, went back and found the previous scoring loop from when the time of the caution flag and the caution lights, and they elected to put Elliott Sadler back to the lead. In case you missed it, this is the incident. This is Justin Johnson getting to the inside of Jeffrey Earnhardt, got his left sides down on the flat, got that truck to wiggling, and then he was running out of racetrack. Just like before, Brendan Gaughan, he turned that thing left to keep off of Jeffrey Earnhardt, and around he went, unfortunately.
I think you made the note earlier. You look like you have a lot more racetrack to work with down there, but you definitely can't get by with getting those left side tires down on that flat.
Chase Mattioli is going to receive the Aaron's Lucky Dog and get a lap back, so they'll put right side tires on that as well as left side tires and top it off with fuel. It's Sunoco fuel, and heads it back out onto the track. Welcome back. Too Tough to Tame 200. You're on Speed, your motorsports authority. Darlington Raceway, third race of the 2011 season, and already 4 cautions to start this one. On the outside, Elliott Sadler was deemed the race leader when the caution came out. Casey Kane will start on the inside of row number 1. So a great battle building right now as we get ready to restart here at Darlington.
A little bit reminiscent of Pocono last year.
Guys checking up, going to the inside here.
It was a lot tighter restart than we had on those first 3 restarts.
Matt Crafton all the way down on the flat is going to try to make his way up to the banking, and he does.
Another very tight restart from Darlington, just like the beginning of this race. They're still too wide. You see Hornaday on the inside. Elliott Sadler's dropped all the way back to 4th. Again, he was your race leader at the stripe.
Someone else backpedaling is Ron Hornaday in that orange 33 truck. He's lost several positions.
And remember, the 2 truck put 2 tires on that pit stop, as well as the 3 truck of Austin Dillon. Right now, Austin's being shown in the 3rd spot.
The truck I keep watching, the driver I keep an eye on, is our champion, Todd Bodine, in that 30 truck. Remember, he was involved in that first caution on lap 1, came in, got off sequence on pit stops, made another pit stop. He's worked his way to the top 5 in the 5th position.
And won this race last year.
Crafton just took 13th away from Jason White. Those 2 were side by side. Now it's Casey Kane, James Busher, Dillon, Sadler, and Bodine are your top 5. Ray, what happened with the restart?
Sadler came on the radio and said that Hornaday lifted his rear tires clear up off the ground. He said, "Is that my teammate back there?" They said, "Absolutely." He said, "Tell him please don't do that again."
Well, quite honestly, he cost himself too, because of all the checking up, talking about Ron Hornaday in the 33 truck. He fell back several spots.
Sorting it out. Well, a couple of guys haven't sorted it out yet. Travis Quapple, he's got to get back to the front after being involved in the first incident of the day. You see Brendan Gaughan also trying to make his way toward the front. He was also involved in one of our cautions. He brought out the 3rd caution today.
Travis right now running 18th, Brendan 19th. They took over those positions from Craig Gose.
Travis Quapple in that 5 truck, another one of the drivers running the full schedule. He's elected to take his driver championship points in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Pretty deep hole after 2 races.
Boy, sure does. There's several drivers in that same boat. Brendan Gaughan's another one of those drivers in a pretty deep hole.
Field beginning to spread out now, single file, which is a little more comfortable, I'm assuming, for the drivers, but a good battle here building for the 5th spot. Todd Bodine, as you mentioned, running so well early on in this race, and Ron Hornaday now all over his back bumper.
It looked like Hornaday had a little bit of run going off of turn number 4. They took a shot at Todd, wasn't able to get underneath him.
Now looking to the inside of that 3, the 2 of Elliott Sadler. Again, the 2 and 3 both only took right side tires, so it's going to be a little more difficult for those 2 to get up to speed on this run.
Yeah, they probably don't want to see a long green flag run. They want to see a long enough run where it forces everyone, including themselves, probably to come back to pit road to get 4 tires.
Taking a gamble early on to get track position, and it backfired, at least for the 2. And he had mentioned that his teammate, Ron Hornaday, who's behind him in that tied number 33, lifted the back wheels off the ground on the restart. So a very difficult restart as we see Hornaday working to the inside of that 30 of Todd Bodine.
Good run down the bottom of the racetrack there, down on 3 and 4. Just couldn't quite use the whole racetrack because Todd was there.
Coming in, Elliott Sadler had only led 16 laps at this racetrack, 15 in the Cup Series and 1 in the Nationwide Series. And after being out front for 13 laps, he's one of 3 drivers that have led here. Cole Witt, Elliott Sadler, and Casey Kane.
It looks like Hornaday in the 33 truck is a little quicker than Todd Bodine in the 30, but he just can't find the right spot to make that pass. Now, to update our pole sitter, you just saw him there, Cole Witt, in that 60 truck, had the lug nut issue, sitting back there in the 10th spot right now.
Todd Bodine working his way around the 3. Here comes Ron Hornaday, also trying to make the pass.
I think it's really smart by Austin Dillon. He knows that he took 2 tires on that last pit stop. Hey, just stay somewhere in contact with these front running trucks here. I know I'm going to get 4 tires the next time around, and then I should be on equal footing.
Ray Dunlap.
Good point, Phil, but what do you do on the 3rd round of pit stops? That's why these guys took the gamble early. They wanted the information of whether or not 2 tires are going to work, and a lot of that has to do when that pit stop comes. But I believe at least the 2 has a strategy in place of doing 4 next time and then just doing 2 to get that track position later in the race. We'll see how it plays out, but at least they're gaining information.
I think there's any question next time they come to pit road, they'll be doing 4 tires.
But if this thing has a green run going, though, and they make this stop under the green, most of these trucks, if not all of them, will be able to make it on that last pit stop.
Side by side, we see Johnny Sauter in the 13 making the pass on the 3 of Austin Dillon. Here comes the 17 of Timothy Peters. We talked earlier about how hard he's charging to the front.
See, now Austin's falling back now to the back side of the top 10. If he could even fall out of the top 10, and I think that's too far back. I don't think it worked for him. I don't think the 2 tires worked for him because his truck doesn't appear to be as good right now as it was earlier. Elliott Sadler's doing a pretty good job maintaining 3rd on his 2 tires.
Chase Mattioli back into the wall in the 10. Looks like we're staying green, though, so he works his way down to the inside of the racetrack. That was right across the start-finish line. It was in 3 and 4 where he got into the wall. Oh, coming out of 2, he actually hit the wall and then limped all the way around the racetrack.
And Austin Dillon in the 3 truck would hope that the caution would come out right now, I think.
Take a look. This is, again, coming out of turn number 2, and wham, really hit the wall hard.
Pretty hard shot there. He was following Johanna Long in the 20 truck, and you kind of lose your vision there. When he's right behind that truck. That's actually down at the other end of the racetrack after he'd initially hit the wall coming off turn number 2.
So a lot of right side damage to the 10 of Chase Mattioli. He's going to make his way onto pit road. Casey Kane trying to check out on this field. He has a 3.4 second lead over James Busher. Bodine, Sadler, and Hornaday, your top 5. Sauter, Peters, Dillon, Witt, and Carmichael, your top 10. NASCAR on Speed heads to Thunder Valley, where NASCAR's biggest names take on the world's fastest half mile. Live speed coverage from Bristol begins Friday at noon Eastern with NASCAR Sprint Cup practice only on Speed, Motorsports Authority. We are under caution for the 5th time. There was debris on the racetrack, and that shouldn't be shocking to anyone. As much contact as we've already seen, not with only the wall, but also trucks into other trucks.
This should even everyone out as far as strategy. It's been about 30 laps since guys were on pit road. I think you'll see everybody come for 4 Goodyear tires this time.
Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, Mike Hillman Jr. telling Todd Bodine, do whatever the 18 does. They're following him down pit road. Todd likes his truck. You've heard Larry McReynolds say he's had tires on twice. They're going to make a small air pressure adjustment. The racetrack to Todd is freeing up as the night goes on. A small air pressure adjustment. Well, these guys are happy so far, Ray.
James Busher had a little bit of a vibration in the right in that Wolfpack Reynolds Chevrolet. You see him in the middle of the screen. He's climbing 4 tires no matter what. At top of your screen, you see Casey Kane. He wanted to make a wedge adjustment. Eric Phillips, the crew chief, said, no, I don't want to mess with this thing. You are wicked fast, even after we get going after 25 laps. I like it the way it is. 18 is down. The 60 is going to be the first one off pit road. They must have made a gamble on pit stop. Casey Kane goes out second. Buscher follows.
I see a couple of gamblers there. I just think that's an awful lot of laps on those tires to be going with just right side tires.
You know that 62 trucker, Brendan Gaughan, he's from Las Vegas, owns the South Point Casino.
Might as well gamble.
Might as well gamble.
The 50 of TJ Bell made up 21 spots. Take a look coming off of pit road. Whoa, close call. TJ Bell coming, trying to turn into a stall. You know why that's he improved 21 positions, because he didn't get into a stall.
It'll work every time.
Yeah. So they cleaned up the debris. We'll get them lined back up and get the restart here in Darlington. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Roundup, Extended Control Weed and Grass Killer, plus Weed Preventer. By Touch of Gray, gets rid of some gray, never all. And by AT&T. Sun low in the sky here in Darlington, South Carolina. The Aaron's Lucky Dog goes to the 07 of Jamie Dick. And let's go trackside once again for Ray Dunlap.
Well, I just wanted to confirm quickly that the Red Bull truck of Cole Witt did go with right side tires only. They said they really needed that track position back. He said, I love the way this truck was in clean air, so they gambled a little bit. 2 tires on the last pit stop.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. That's 20-something laps on those tires. You know, yeah, you can stay out in clean air. I'm just not sure you can race anybody with those tires.
Green flag back in the air, side by side. Cole Witt on the outside, Casey Kane on the inside, and Kane makes the pass on restart.
I think Cole Witt is already paying the price. They didn't even get to turn 1.
Casey Kane jumps out in front.
If Cole Witt can settle out somewhere around the top 5 and they run a long run till they put tires on again, then it will have worked. Because before, he was mired at the very backside of the top 10.
Take a look at this. James Buscher trying to make the move on the inside. He tries to pass Casey Kane as they go by the stripe.
Just think of the redemption for James Buscher. He finished second in this race a year ago, missed the show at Phoenix 2 weeks ago.
And how about this? Flexing his muscle as he goes down the backstretch. James Buscher leading at Darlington. Cole Witt trying to stay up to speed. Right behind Todd Bodine. Johnny Sauter just behind that 60. Now Sauter peeks to the outside. Will he be able to make the pass? There's Carmichael. Looks like he may have smacked the wall in the right rear of that truck.
Watch him just bottom of your screen, right behind the 66 black and white truck. He does make some contact. There's Taylor Malsom going by on the inside. Here's another view from his onboard. That's Justin Marks, the 66 right in front of him. It's about as easy,
a little too high.
About as easy you can hit one here.
Yep.
3 of Austin Dillon, the 2 of Elliott Sadler. Timothy Peters just behind those 2. And now we see Matt Crafton trying to make the move to the inside of Timothy Peters. He makes the pass.
Parker Clearman gets by the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Remember, Brendan was another one of those trucks that put 2 tires on that last pit stop.
Trying to get that all-important track position here at Darlington.
See the 5 truck of Travis Quapple right behind the 29 of Parker Clearman and the 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
Looks like we got a battle for the lead shaping back up, though. Casey Kane at that 18, reeling that 31 truck of James Buscher back in. I do stand corrected. James Buscher finished 7th a year ago in this race, not 2nd.
Buscher still with a 3-truck length lead over Casey Kane, the winner of this race back in 2004.
Buscher's had a couple of runner-up finishes in his career here in the Camping World Truck Series, both coming last year. There's Austin Dillon, moves to the inside of Cole Witt. I think you're right, Larry. He's paying that price for those 2 tires. If he loses very many more positions, then it will not have worked for him.
Yeah, you know, you get about 15 or less laps on them, you can get by with it. But you start getting 20-plus laps, it's just hard to overcome that.
There's Elliott Sadler trying to make his way by Cole Witt. For the 7th position, there's Matt Crafton we're riding along with in his Menard Chevrolet.
You know, you could hear Matt Crafton through 3 and 4 really get out of the throttle, and now he's going to have to check up for Elliott Sadler in 1 and 2. But a lot of times, they're holding it down a lot longer in 1 and 2 than they are in 3 and 4.
You see him just pedal it just ever so slightly coming off at turn number 2.
battle for the lead. Casey Kane looks to the outside. Buescher gives him room, moves to the inside, and Kane is going to take over the top spot.
Yeah, James Buescher, 31 Truck, he had no choice there because Casey Kane had that run off turn 4.
Well, sparks out from underneath the 2 of Elliott Sadler. He's able to hold on to that spot.
Just able to get by the 60 of Cole Witt. There's Timothy Peters. You heard him have to check up a little bit behind the 88 of Matt Crafton, who's right behind that 60 truck of Cole Witt.
You can see now, and you can hear him really playing with that throttle, that the sun is just about down. We're just about in the dusk here, and the track is really going to start picking up some grip.
Crafton looks to the inside of Cole Witt as they go into 1 and 2.
It's a battle for the 8th position.
There you see the sun as they go down the backstretch. That sun almost clearing the grandstands now.
But not an issue for the driver right now. Matt Crafton able to make that pass. Cole Witt gave him a break. Here comes Timothy Peters. He's also going to get by the 60 of Cole Witt.
You know, the 17 of Timothy Peters is rolling 3 and 4 so good. He made up so much room on not only Cole Witt, but also Matt Crafton as he went through 3 and 4.
Brendan Gaughan able to get by Parker Kligerman. Brendan moves up to the 11th spot.
Battle about to take place here for the 2nd position. James Buescher holds it now, but here comes the 30 of Todd Bodine.
It's almost like the deeper we get into the race there, a little give and take there, more giving than taken by Todd Bodine in that 30 truck.
Bodine was smart there because the 7 of Miguel Paludo was down on the bottom of the racetrack. He knew if he went down there, he would have problems. Oh, up into the wall is the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. He makes contact once again with the wall.
Yeah, he had made contact with Parker Kligerman, and now we got Jason White in a 23 and Joey Coulter in a 22, and they make hard contact on the back straightaway.
6 caution comes out.
And I think that was the aftermath of Nelson Piquet Jr. getting into the wall. He and Parker Kligerman got together, and I think it may have cut down the right front tire on that A truck of Nelson Piquet Jr.
Yeah, they got together pretty good down in the middle of turn 1 and 2.
There's that right front tire that is down on the wheel for Nelson Piquet Jr. in that Cade size Chevrolet.
We've passed the halfway point of this race.
I think we're going to stay out now, Larry, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think we can come this quick after a caution. This is the contact that we were talking about. You see the 8 truck of Nelson Piquet just gets up into Parker Kligerman in the 29. Kligerman has to roll out.
Then I think that tire deflated on that 8 truck. He got on the outside wall. And then when these other trucks came off the corner here, I think they took evasive moves, and somehow Jason White in the 23 got involved. Ricky Carmichael's onboard camera. There's Travis Quapple, the 5. See those 2 trucks get together, the 8 and the 29. Ricky's going to jump to the inside, follow Travis Quapple along the inside.
And this is the first incident where the 8 hits the wall. Now watch behind him. Jason White already sideways coming out of 2.
Joey Coulter in the 22 tried to check up. He gets sideways, and they end up hitting each other, getting together at the bottom of the racetrack.
This is Nelson Piquet's onboard.
You know, it looked like the right front tire of Nelson Piquet Jr.'s truck was never against the 29 truck of Parker Kligerman.
See the right side damage to that number 8.
A lot of damage to that 22 truck in the garage of Joey Coulter's. You know, Cole Witt probably did not want to see this caution. He wanted to see it go a little deeper. He's now sitting back there in 10th with only those 2 fresh right side tires.
We saw the driver of the 23, Jason White, make his way out of the truck and into the ambulance. He'll take the ride to the infield care center, get checked out. They continue to work on the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr., trying to get that truck back out on the racetrack. The 6th caution of the day has come out at Darlington Raceway. It's the track Too Tough to Tame. Well, could Casey Kane tame it once again? He's been out front for numerous laps. Can he hold off the hard-charging James Buescher and Todd Bodine? March 20th, the biggest pre-race show in NASCAR heads to the world's fastest half mile. And before Thunder Valley gets rocking and rolling, JR, Kenny, Kyle, Wendy, and Hermie give you the ultimate setup for one of the most exciting events in motorsports. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot from Bristol. That's March 20th, 10:30 Eastern, live on Speed. We see Nelson Piquet, his guys working on the truck, but also they've got a little camera action going on there. You know, amazingly, Speed is all over the world. A lot of people, as a matter of fact,
75 different countries.
Ray, I think you've got some stats.
Well, yeah, it's so cool that it's all over. But here's the thing, Rick. Samantha and Kyle Busch are in Cancun on vacation this week, and they're watching the race tonight being broadcast on Speed. But guess what? It's in Spanish. And Samantha just tweeted a minute ago, she said, I should have paid a lot more attention back in school so I'd know what was going on. Hermie?
Yeah, I want to catch up with Joey Coulter. Your first trip to Darlington didn't end up quite like you wanted it. Tell us what happened.
Just somebody spun out in front of us, and with the sun just kind of going over the wall and stuff, it got really hard to see with all the smoke, and just got run into from behind. You know, I'm sure it wasn't, you know, nobody's fault, just a blind spot in the racetrack kind of. I hate it. You know, we had a pretty good truck. I was really just kind of starting to learn the place and have some fun, and you know, it's just unfortunate we got tore up, but we're looking forward to Martinsville.
Yeah, good attitude. He's going to try to come back and get him at Martinsville. A tough day for Joey Coulter here in Darlington.
Crew continues to work on that truck. The Aaron's lucky dog goes to David Starr, and then number 81. He'll be back on the lead lap.
I think Joey's truck needs a makeover. We saw him have a makeover in the setup show, but
I don't think whatever they did to their eyebrows,
plucking.
Yeah, that's not going to work with that truck.
Yeah, he's been on spring break. He goes to UNC Charlotte. His spring break has not ended like I think he actually wanted it to.
Not at all. Coming out of turn 4, green flag back in the air. Casey Kane on the outside. On the inside, it's James Busher. Right behind Kane in the 33, Ron Hornaday, as they make their way through 1 and 2.
Looked like Cole Witt was really slow on that restart. He's lost several more positions.
He continues to pay the price. And I think we just paid the price.
Our camera just paid the price too as they came out at number 2. Well, we broke a lens.
Ron Hornaday now moved up into the 2nd spot. Todd Bodine round running through. 3 wide coming off turn 4.
Oh, a little contact.
Still bouncing off each other.
Trying to find that real estate on this very tight racetrack. It's Justin Marks in the 66 that was sideways.
Cole Witt now has dropped back to the 14th position.
Yeah, he needs a caution. He needs one bad, and more than anything, he needs 4 fresh Goodyear tires.
Pilgrim also able to get by to get another position away from Cole Witt.
68 laps to go. What do they have to do to get to that window where they're done? They can stay on the track.
Yeah. Probably somewhere around lap 90, I would say.
Yeah, about 10 more laps, and that'll do it.
So Cole Witt, one of the drivers, holding on right now. Side by side they stay as they come out of turn number 2, working their way down the backstretch. It's the 93 on the inside of Shane Sieg.
Now Parker Kligerman in that 29 truck came to pit road and got 4 fresh tires under that last caution.
He's making his way back towards the front too. It's amazing what those 4 fresh tires will do. You're going to see him drive by Cole Witt right now.
They'll solve a lot of handling issues.
Cole Witt on the high side. We see Parker Kligerman making the pass now. Oh, and Cole Witt into the wall a bit as he came out of 2. There's your Darlington strike, Cole Witt. Dusty Davis goes by in the 15.
DJ Bell gets by. The Liberty Tile Recycling Chevrolet.
Look at the gap already that Casey Kane has put on Ron Hornaday. 1 second was the last time they went by the start-finish line. Gap between 1 and 2.
And on the stopwatch, he's about 2 to 2.5 tenths a lap quicker than Ron Hornaday, Todd Bodine, James Busher, and Johnny Sauter.
And that's about 25 laps on this set of tires for Casey Kane. And that previous lap was faster than the old track record.
And it's only going to get faster. When they come in late in the race and get 4 fresh tires, and this track has went under darkness and under the lights with a lot of grip, we'll see some lap times laid down.
And this is a little bit different right side tire than these guys had last year. Left side tire is the same, a little bit different right side, a little more grip.
Todd Bodine trying to reel in that 33 of Ron Hornaday. I talked earlier about how beautiful the weather was here. Ray, are you going to contest that?
No, Rick, I just wanted to talk about the weather a little bit for you because Larry's usually the best weatherman, but I did check on the air temperature when we went green. It was 67 degrees. It has dropped 5 degrees right now, and I think Larry's right. As that sun goes down, I got my jacket on. It's got a nice little breeze here, but I think this track is going to grab a lot more grip. And a number of guys on the radio saying, be prepared for your truck to change dramatically in the next 20 laps.
Well, right now, while the track is changing, Todd Bodine in that 30 truck, he is all over the rear bumper of Ron Hornaday in the 33, and James Busher in the 31 has pulled up there.
And Hornaday's all over the racetrack, it looks like. Truck wiggling in both ends.
Yeah, it looks like Hornaday right now has his hands full with that 33. We've seen him bobble quite often in front of the 30, but Todd Bodine can't get by him.
It's that lack of room around this racetrack.
That 30 feet of racing room that you talked about.
Racing room. When Ron's taking the middle 7 feet of that.
The battle continues for the second spot. Behind them, way back there, is the 60 of Cole Witt, Ray.
At first, Rick, it was the 2 tires that was his problem, and he dropped back about to 10th or 12th, but now Witt back to 26. Problem is they have dropped a cylinder on that Red Bull Chevrolet. He said it really sounding bad. He's trying to hold on, but dropped way back because of motor problems.
Well, they knew he was here today based on practice and for sure on qualifying.
And was out front. I mean, Cole Witt led laps here at Darlington, which is so difficult to do in just his 4th start in the Camping World Truck Series. But a guy who's also making his just 4th start in the Camping World Truck Series, Casey Kane, out in front of the field. His previous 3 starts, what do you think, Phil?
Well, he's got a horrible record here.
We got problems. That is Chase Mattioli in the 10. Hard contact with the wall, and we see the caution come out once again. This is the 7th caution.
I think we're going to be close enough to that magic number of lap number 90. We've completed 88 laps. By the time pit road opens, we'll be at lap 90 or 91. I think they're going to come in, put their last set of tires on.
Well, yeah, we're there again, 25 to 30 laps. So I think, yeah, everybody will be there for a full tank of Sunoco race fuel and 4 fresh Goodyears.
Rick Wren up there talking with Eric Phillips. Again, Eric Phillips, crew chief for the 18. Casey Kane.
There's Ron Hornaday's crew chief, Jeff Hensley. Ron's in the 2nd spot right now. Tough day for Chase Mattioli.
And Phil, where he's sitting, that's probably that's going to have them keep pit road closed, which is going to be a good thing for the fuel mileage. It'll be another less lap you have to run once you hit pit road.
Saw a bunch of sparks before that truck went into the outside wall. It makes you think that maybe he cut down a right front tire, broke something on the right front suspension.
It looked like it never turned.
This is earlier in this same turn here.
Not only did Chase Mattioli have problems, but
we had a bit of a problem of our own here. Watch our camera lens.
And this was a live shot. We saw it actually happen when it happened.
I think it was Ron Hornaday that did it. I think we need to send him a bill.
I'm not so sure he didn't throw something out the side window of that truck.
He might have.
Right at us. Racing in 3D.
Yeah, pit road still closed, as Larry mentioned. That truck of Chase Mattioli still sitting down on pit road.
There's no question. Fuel-wise, they'll be okay. They'll be inside the window.
Again, making their way around this 1 1/3. Darlington Raceway.
You know, Brennan Gaughan was another one of those trucks that put 2 tires on this last pit stop along with Cole Witt. Ray reported that Cole Witt lost his cylinder now. That's why he's fallen so far back. But Brennan has maintained a top 10 position with those 2 tires.
Yeah, sitting there in the 10th spot.
Yeah, so it worked for him.
While Casey Kane is out front, who has the guts and or the glory in this race as we've passed the halfway point and 57 laps to go, right? '77 problems in practice.
Right when the track opened for the first practice session.
And here's the very first lap of the race, turn number 1. Gets involved in there. There you see a bottom of your screen going out to the right, the 77.
Justin Lofton.
And coming onto pit road.
Norm Benning coming off pit road at the same time. They make contact.
And how about right now, even though the truck doesn't look better for wear, running 13th?
Yeah, just that's staying with it.
That's Ram tough. Guts and glory.
Definitely guts and glory.
And Casey Kane out front. Again, with just 57 laps, we're expecting to see the field make their way onto pit road. They're still getting the 10 of Chase Mattioli off of pit road, so clearing that before they open up pit road and make it available to the teams.
I would think next time by it will be open. We will have completed 92 laps when they come in. That would leave 55 to go if we don't have a green, white checker finish.
If with a capital I and a capital F.
We had one last year.
Yeah. We have double file restarts, and at Darlington, when you talk about only 30 feet of racing surface, really, it gets a little bit tight.
We certainly couldn't get through turn 1 on the first lap at the start of the race.
Well, they have opened pit road, and so this time by they'll have the opportunity to make their way onto pit road. The field's still working their way down the backstretch, and as you mentioned, Larry, really a benefit for everyone because they will all now be in their window. They don't have to stop once again for fuel.
And with this many laps to go, I never say never, but I could not imagine anybody will roll the dice this time and try just 2 right side tires. This is where you want 4 tires. Make sure you get that truck full of Sunoco race fuel and you'll be good to go.
You know, maybe we get a caution with 20 laps to go. Everyone's good to go from here. We get a caution with 20 laps to go, especially some of those trucks that aren't necessarily right up in the top 5 may come in, roll the dice, put those extra right side tires on and see what happens.
Casey Kane making his way off the racetrack and onto pit road. Hermie Sadler.
Well, Ron Hornaday Jr. and Todd Bodine have been battling it out on the racetrack. They will now battle it out on pit road. Ron Hornaday coming in for an air pressure adjustment. Last stop, they added a half-pound air to the right rear, made him too loose. They're taking that adjustment back out. Todd Bodine likes his truck. Track position is his issue. 4 tires, no changes. Sunoco fuel for Todd Bodine. Ray?
The truck couldn't get much better for Casey Kane. This particular chassis has 4 previous victories. They're going to go with 4 tires, no question about it. But I think somebody is going to gamble. I think it'll be Elliott Sadler in the 2. I think they're going 2 tires only. He got blocked in a little bit, but Elliott will be away, no question about it. The 4-tire stop continues for Casey Kane. He's going to get ahead of Ron Hornaday, so they'll keep their same track position. Looks like the 30 may have lost a spot.
Actually lost 3 spots, Ray, all the way back to the 6th position.
So the field making their way off of pit road, and what an amazing crowd here in Darlington, South Carolina. And we're expecting amazing finishes when we come back. Welcome back tonight on Speed Supercross, live from Indy. How about Bubba Stewart after his Daytona crash trying to rebound? Ryan Dungey looking for his first win of 2011, but it'll have to get by Villapoto, who's looking for his 3rd win in a row. And then Speed Center wraps it all up with Adam Alexander. Matt Crafton in the 88 missing a lug nut. Had to make his way back onto pit road.
Remember, he came in here our points leader, and what's going to make it tough, we've got 27 trucks on the lead lap with just about 50 laps to go.
Johanna Long is our lucky dog. She is one of those trucks now on the lead lap.
18 years old, making her mark.
Won the Snowball Derby this year.
Biggest late model race there is every year in the country.
Field 2x2 once again. Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane, 1 and 2 as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Elliott Sadler on the outside. Can he hold off Kane through 1 and 2?
I don't know if those 2 tires are going to be a match for the 4 tires on Casey Kane's truck.
Yeah, he'll be lucky if he can hang on to 2nd, especially with his teammate Ron Hornaday in that 33 truck back there. Long way to go with just 2 fresh right side tires.
James Busher on the inside of Austin Dillon.
You can see right there, Hornaday was just able to drive that thing down into turn 3 and 4.
Ricky Carmichael into the wall coming out of turn 4. The field spreading. We've got a problem behind him, too. It looks like 2 trucks maybe slapped along. Oh, and hard hit by Johanna Long as they crossed the stripe. Also involved was the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr.
You know, we talk about this racetrack being really narrow, but it's not narrow on the straightaways. So there was plenty of room there to have driven around. You see Ricky Carmichael trying to refire that truck.
Look at the damage to the 20 of Johanna Long.
See Johanna moving around in that truck. That's a good sign.
She's up against the inside, well, close to the inside barrier. You see the window net coming down. That's a great sign.
When I looked down, she already had a bunch of damage on her truck before she even got to Ricky Carmichael. I'm not sure if she could turn the truck or could steer it or even get it stopped.
Yeah, we're red flagging this because of the accident right here on the front stretch where the field really wouldn't be able to get around or through because of the 2 vehicles right here on the front stretch. But I saw after Carmichael got sideways, the 20 of Johanna Long hitting the wall in turn number 4, as well as the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. So they hit after the fact.
Yeah, as Larry said, she may not have been able to steer that truck, or certainly able to steer it very well after that contact with the outside wall. Just watch for Ricky Carmichael right up your screen. It looks like he just got a little bit loose.
Got a little bit too high, overcorrected, hard in the outside wall. You see that the 20 truck here coming with all the sparks, and you can see how much damage she already had to the right front of that truck.
And she was trying to drive to the inside of that truck, and I'm not sure that truck would steer very well.
It was Nelson Piquet Jr. that hit the wall, and then Johanna Long looked like she cut the right front tire on Nelson Piquet Jr.'s truck.
Taylor Malsom does an incredible job avoiding Ricky Carmichael. See, Ricky tries to keep the truck up against the outside wall.
Her tire was down right there. I think that's why we started seeing the sparks.
You know what? Let's ride with Ricky Carmichael and just get a sense of what this is like coming out of turn 4.
You heard the tire start squealing there when he lost control of the back of that truck. Now he's going to have hard contact here. Oh. Looked like Ricky was going to gas it up and try to move away just before Johanna Long made contact.
Johanna Long climbing out of the number 20. That's a great sign. Johanna Long finished 32nd at Daytona, 20th at Phoenix in our first 2 races. And now a difficult night for her. You see the damage to Nelson Piquet Jr. in the number 8. Again, we're under a red flag condition as they're cleaning up the front stretch before they get the field moving. Again, we talk about it is a narrow racetrack, so there's no room for the field to go by on the front stretch. A wild ride for Ricky Carmichael in the 4. Speed Inside Deals is your one-stop shop for exclusive ticket offers for Speed viewers. Purchase 2 tickets to Bristol Motor Speedway at Speed Inside Deals and receive a track walk with Rutledge Wood on race day. Visit speed.com/deals today. The race walk would be exciting, but throw in Rutledge Wood and you've added entertainment value beyond belief.
How about the fact that you can buy tickets for the Bristol?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And what a great show they put on there. And so excited about going back and honoring Jeff Bird, one of the nicest people that we've ever had in this sport. Unfortunately, lost his battle with cancer to cancer last year.
Under a red flag condition here at Darlington Raceway, it was the 4 of Ricky Carmichael getting sideways out of 4. Yellow flag flies, and then behind him, Johanna Long nowhere to go. And Kim Lopez is our flag woman.
There's Ricky Carmichael getting sideways. Taylor Malsom does an incredible job avoiding him. And then Nelson Piquet Jr. cut a tire down and made hard contact with the outside wall.
And I think the truck throwing the sparks, that's Johanna Long. I think what had happened, she had got into the left side of Nelson Piquet Jr.'s truck, probably cut her right front down. That's the reason we started seeing those sparks. Quite honestly, by the time she got to Carmichael, I don't think she could probably turn the truck. Not at that speed.
Riding along with Ricky now.
And Ricky looks like he didn't make any contact with the wall, so he might think he was safe up until that point. Now let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
You know, Rick, back in the day here at Darlington, you'd give about $1 million for a set of sticker tires, and check this out. Brand new tires sitting down here in the pits for the 17 team. They've got 4 of them. Now, most everybody else is already out of tires, so it was a strategy move that worked out. And Butch Hilton, the crew chief here, want to ask you, Butch, I know you've kind of planned this out today. In the old days at Darlington, this would have been a godsend. Why did you do it this way?
Well, we haven't been very good all night. We've been pretty loose, and our gear wrench Toyota needs to get tightened up. So we've been trying to work on the truck, and the way it ended up, we ended up with these 4 tires. So we'll take a shot at the end with them and see what happens. I think if we can get another 10 or 15, 20 laps under our belt, then come get them, they'll make a difference. So hopefully they will.
How late would you be willing to pit, and can it be a benefit?
I think with about 20 to go would be the max, and then if not, we'll just ride it out. We got enough fuel to make it to the end, so we'll see what happens.
All right, so interesting strategy down here. I think this is the only team on my end that I've been able to find that's got a full set of sticker tires ready to go, guys.
Thanks, Ray. We're starting to see the trucks rolling. Now they've gone from a red flag condition to a yellow flag condition, and we see Kim Lopez displaying the yellow flag. While we've got just a few seconds, let's slip back to the Charlotte studios and Adam Alexander at Speed Center.
We are always here in the Speed Center. Good afternoon. I'm Adam Alexander with this latest update. The biggest story of the day coming from the Daytona 200. Jake Zemke started on the pole, and he was leading till a red flag because of front tire issues. One of the riders being affected, Danny Eslick. Coming off a NASCAR 4, he would go down. They would address the issue. We have got the completion of the race tonight at 11 Eastern right here on Speed. 2 Super Sport races completed, though. Race 1 yesterday, Thomas Puerta led the way, and he gets the win by 7 seconds. The battle for second has Stefano Mesa getting it by 8 1/1000ths of a second. Mesa trying to get second in race number 2. He's off the bike and through the grass. David Gavira gets the win over Puerta at the line. Coming up next, Monster Energy Supercross. And after a break, we're going back to the truck race at Darlington.
Welcome back. Too Tough to Tame 200, back under a yellow flag condition. Let's go down to Hermie Sadler with one of the guys involved.
Yeah, Ricky Carmichael just stepping out of the infield care center. First of all, what happened from your perspective, and are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just, you know, we were fast, race trim all day long, and coming from behind, we qualified horrible. So you put yourself in a hole right then and there, and it never got any better from that point on. And, you know, we catch up. Then we lose position on the pit road and catch up, and just trying hard, man. I want to make this happen, and this year I finally feel comfortable where I know what I'm doing, and just makes it tough on a track like this when you start from behind and you try to get all you can get. We were getting down to the end, and there were a couple cars or trucks in front of me that I knew I was better than, and just spun out. I don't know if I got any help. I'm not really sure, but I'll take the blame for it.
It's Ricky Carmichael. He said he got loose off turn 4, and as he said, wasn't real sure if he had any help or not. So luckily he's all right, and we'll catch up with Johanna Long in just a moment.
There you see Max Pappas in the Geico number 9. He gets the Aaron's lucky dog.
Remember, Max was involved in that very first incident on lap number 1 and turn number 1. So he's fought all day long, stayed on the racetrack, stayed in contention. Now finally gets this lucky dog, and will be one of our trucks on the lead lap.
Hermie said he was going to grab Johanna Long, and I believe she's standing by.
She is. First of all, Johanna, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. It just stinks because we had a really good truck and we finally got our lap back, and the guys were working really hard from practice, and we came a long way, and it just stinks. Hopefully we can get that truck ready for Nashville because sponsorship's really low and Fanning Motorsports, but hopefully we can get some after our good run, or almost good run we had at Darlington.
It looked like before you made contact with the 4, you cut a right front tire. Probably made it difficult for you to steer the truck. Not a lot of room on this front straightaway.
No, I think when another truck hit the wall, and then I kind of hit him because he came down a little bit, and I think that's what happened. So.
Well, Johanna Long is gaining experience, a lot of it valuable here at Darlington, and glad to see she's walking away.
Yeah, not the experience she was looking for, as she wasn't able to finish this race at Darlington, and a very tough racetrack, obviously, to come to. And you have high hopes when you come to Darlington, such history at this track. Carmichael has problems coming out of turn number 4. Johanna Long, she mentioned clipping one of the trucks. That was Nelson Piquet Jr. that flipped. Green flag just coming out as the field working their way through 1 and 2, already up into the wall.
Like TJ Bell maybe in the white number 50 truck.
Yep, TJ Bell having troubles getting through 1 and 2. The field starts to spread out now down the backstretch and into turn 3.
Top 09 able to get by Elliott Sadler to take over the 3rd spot. Looked like Taylor Mawson was smoking down on the flat of the racetrack. There he is, slow coming off turn 4.
Parker Kligerman in the 29 on the inside.
He's one of the trucks that did not pit that last time that everyone was on pit road. He had been on pit road about 10 laps prior to that in that 29 truck.
Most of the field making the way onto pit road at lap 92.
Good battle for the 10th spot right there. Brendan Gaughan trying to take 10th away from Travis Quapple. He's able to do it.
Again out front, Casey Kane, Ron Hornaday, Todd Bodine, Elliott Sadler's dropped back to 4th. Timothy Peters is 5th. Dillon, Kligerman, Sauter, Buscher, and Gaughan are your top 10. See Taylor Mawson making his way onto pit road now.
I think with 43 laps to go, Casey Kane in that 18 truck, he's going to run just as hard as he needs to right now.
We had seen Casey Kane put 3+ seconds between himself and 2nd. Now a side-by-side battle. Matt Crafton trying to make the pass.
Remember, Matt had a lug nut left off, had to come back down pit road. Now he's trying to fight back from that penalty to the inside of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Earnhardt up high in that number 1. Now you're seeing the 81 of David Starr trying to get by Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Jeffrey Earnhardt has had a solid night in that one truck. A backup truck. The first lap he made in that truck was when they dropped the green flag.
Currently 19th is Jeffrey Earnhardt. Parker Kligerman with a pretty good run right now, as you mentioned, did come on pit road. Currently 7th.
Joey Coulter trying to make his way back on the racetrack in the 22 RCR Chevrolet.
Top 3 coming out of turn 4. That's Kane, Hornaday, and Bodine. There's a good battle. Kligerman trying to hold off Johnny Sauter. Sauter to the inside in the 13. Here comes James Buscher once again in that 31.
James Buscher pretty much the last bullet in the gun of Turner Motorsports because of Brad Sweet and Ricky Carmichael in the garage area after crashes earlier.
There's Brendan Gaughan pulls to the rear tailgate of the 29 truck of Parker Kligerman. Brendan right now being shown to the 10th spot. Nice run through the center of the corner. Great to see Brendan having a good run, running up in the top 10 and looking for more.
That's what Brendan Gaughan came to the Truck Series for. He wants to be in competitive equipment and run and be competitive for wins every racetrack he goes to.
Yeah, Brendan was actually our 3rd caution back on lap 24.
Casey Kane now opening up a little bit of daylight. There's Cole Witt. Now remember, we talked about him having motor issues. They may have been able to fix that Red Bull Chevrolet because it looks like he's up to full speed now.
When I look at the scoring monitor right now, there's no question. If he did have something going sour on that engine, they have rectified that problem because he's fighting his way back toward the top 10.
Well, Witt currently scored 11th, 8.3 seconds behind race leader Casey Kane. Boy, what a tough night it's been for the 77. A tough day it's been for Justin Lofton.
And he's running in the 12th spot. He's persevered, and guts and glory, and running in the top 12.
That's right. He's got, looks like some of the,
looks like maybe tape.
Yeah, tape on the right
like
side.
that.
Yeah, our producer told me in my ear that there's something flapping on that 77 truck. There's a lot of stuff flapping on that 77 truck.
Hornaday and Bodine here
has opened up a pretty good edge over these two guys fighting for second. Casey's got about an 0.8 of a second lead on these two trucks.
Bodine had a good run coming out of turn number 4. Gets all the way to the back bumper of that 33 of Hornaday, but still unable to make the pass.
Yeah, he's faster than Hornaday in the 33 truck right now. I don't think he can quite figure out where can I get by him at. Ron Hornaday in the 33 is just fast enough that you just can't find that right place.
It's one thing to be faster than somebody on this racetrack, but it's another thing to be fast enough to pass them. It looks like Todd has a good run coming off turn number 4 this time, but still not able to pull down to the inside to get up abreast of the 33 of Hornaday.
The last two winners at this racetrack are running first and third. Casey Kane won in 2004. Todd Bodine won in 2010.
Hornaday finished third in this race last year too, Todd Bodine. Timothy Peters finished second in that race. Timothy right now is being shown in the 5th position.
This is a battle for 7th right here with Johnny Sauter in the 13 truck, James Busher in the 31.
Ray Dunlap.
Hey guys, I just ran down to the 60 pits to see if I could get an update on what the situation was Cole Witt. I asked his crew chief Marcus Richmond, did you guys have a plug wire coming off? He said no, it had nothing to do with the engine. The throttle stop had actually broken and it made it so Cole couldn't put the pedal all the way down to the floor. They came in on that last round of pit stops, someone climbed into the window and they fixed it. He said now he's back at full song and heading forward.
Throttle stop? Why would you ever want a throttle stop? You'd want that baby to go all the way to the floor.
Trust me, the stop was set where it was wide open. You don't want to go past that throttle stop, but right now he has made his way back into the top 10, but he's 9.5 seconds behind leader Casey Kane in the 18.
He's going to need a caution if he thinks he can catch up with Casey Kane. Casey Kane has been dominant. We've had 4 different drivers out in front, 8 lead changes with just 32 laps of racing. It's Casey Kane in front of the field. Welcome back to Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina. We are under a caution flag once again. It's the 9th one of the night, this time for debris on the racetrack. We're 1 away from the record number of cautions at Darlington for the Camping World Truck Series, which was set back in 2004 when Casey Kane won, and that record was 10.
We know Timothy Peters has another set of stickers. This is right in his wheelhouse if he's going to do it. But, Larry, I don't know if I'm going to give up 5th position with that many trucks on the lead lap, but he is going to do it.
Yeah, 22 trucks on the lead lap, and Butch Hilton said if we had more than 20 laps to go, he'd come and get those 4 fresh tires for Timothy Peters.
Johnny Sauter coming in as well. You know, I like the call. He's running 5th. He may say, we don't have enough to win this race. Let's try to make something happen.
Just 29 laps remaining. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, you see Sauter giving up 8th position and Peters also giving up 5th. They're going to go for those 4 tires. Butch Hilton said, make sure you get me a tear off also. He said, I want to make sure he's got a good view because he's going to go right to the front. You see on the bottom of the screen, the 17's going with 4 tires. It'll be right side tires only for the number 13 of Johnny Sauter. They're making a wedge adjustment there. And at the top of your screen, the 18, he didn't pick because they didn't have any tires. And he's got the very best truck, so why in the heck would you pick?
Johnny Sauter did put 2 new right side tires on. Timothy Peters, as we talked about, 4 fresh Goodyear tires.
Saving grace for Peters, a few other lead lap trucks pitted, so he won't be back there in 22nd spot.
Timothy Peters, Quapple, Pappas, Sieg, and Sieg also on pit road. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World and the Good Sam RV Club. Everything you need for the RV lifestyle, including RVs, accessories, warranties, insurance, roadside assistance, and more. By Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. And in high definition by Funai. Funai, fun and innovative. Experience more at FunaiAmerica.com. The Aaron's Lucky Dog goes to Jamie Dick in the 07. Currently on the lead lap are 23 trucks. Justin Marks is the first truck a lap down, and he is in 24th. Now, what is the most important call of the race? We want to take a look at our AT&T call of the race.
I think it's a pretty good call putting Casey Kane in this truck. If I'm going to be on vacation, I'll just get Casey Kane to drive it.
And, of course, Kyle is in Cancun listening to this race in Spanish right now.
So he doesn't even know what we're saying then. Is that right? Hola, Kyle. Hola.
Kyle could be calling right now trying to figure out what's going on. That's the AT&T call of the race. Coming out of turn number 4. Here we go once again. Green flag back in the air. 25 laps of racing to go. Side by side. Hornaday on the inside. Kane on the outside as they go through 1 and 2.
Or Hornaday's using all that racetrack, pushing Kane up to the very top.
Down the backstretch.
Now, Hornaday may have the right position getting off into turn 3 and 4 in that 33 truck. He drives it down in there. Here comes Kane in the 18 on the high side. Here comes Todd Bodine in the 30 truck.
Is Hornaday going to give him room? He's going to have to give him room.
Across the stripe, Bodine moves up to second. Hornaday all the way back to third after battling for the lead on the restart.
There's Timothy Peters trying to make his way back up front with those 4 fresh tires.
Does he have enough time? 24 laps of racing to go and a lot of traffic to get by.
Yeah, Peters restarted back in the 18th position. Johnny Sauter in the 13th and the 16th.
There you see Sauter at the back of that pack, trying to move up on Parker Kligerman in the 29.
How about Matt Crafton in this yellow 88 truck? Remember, had that lug nut issue back on that caution where they pitted lap 92. He's worked his way back into the top 10.
Yeah, and about 30 laps, too, with caution laps included.
Craig Ghost just behind Matt Crafton. Ghost running in the 9th position.
What a nice run for Craig Ghost. Had a top 10 in his debut last year at Talladega in the Truck Series. Running full-time this year.
Eddie Sharp Racing making the move over here into the Camping World Truck Series.
Craig really had to search today to try to find this racetrack. I mean, it was a struggle most of those 2 practice sessions.
It looks like he is honing in on that search. He's figuring it out. He's figuring out the lady in black.
Started back in the 27th position.
Here comes Bodine challenging for the lead. Casey Kane just in front of that 30. Bodine so strong. The latter part of this race. Casey Kane trying to hold him off. 21 laps of racing to go. We've seen Kane put 3 seconds on the second place truck, but now Todd Bodine has moved up into striking distance. On the right side of the screen, you see Austin Dillon and Matt Crafton. Crafton moved to the inside to take that spot.
It's a battle for the 7th spot. Matt Crafton making his way back up towards the top 5.
It's like Todd Bodine in the 30 truck gets down into the center better than Casey Kane in the 18. It's like Casey gets off the corner better, and that speed carries down that straightaway. Now, Todd got a great run that time off turn 2, though.
A lot of momentum up off of turn number 2.
And look at how much gap he has closed now, looking to the inside of that 18 for the lead.
Remember, in addition to winning here last year in the truck, Todd has won a nationwide race here a few years ago.
Again, these 2 are the last 2 to win in the Truck Series at this racetrack.
Both those trucks within a 0.5 of a second of the old track record. That last lap.
On lap 128. So Kane in front of Todd Bodine. That's 1 and 2. Hornaday's 3rd. James Buscher's 4th. Cole Witt running in the 5th position. He had won the pole earlier today. Elliott Sadler runs 6th. Crafton, Dillon, Sauter, and Peters are your top 10.
What a great comeback by Cole Witt. He was back in the 26th position when he had that throttle stop situation and all the way back up into the top 5. And going after James Buscher right now for 4th.
Yeah, you got to give a call to him for what he's done on the racetrack, but Marcus Richmond and that crew for making the repairs as they did.
And Larry, you mentioned earlier where Timothy Peters restarted after putting those 4 fresh tires on. Well, now he's into that top 10. So Timothy Peters moving towards the front. Will the tires last long enough for him to catch up and get into the top 5?
What Timothy needs right now is a caution to bunch his field up. Remember, Johnny Sauter stopped. He's right in front of Timothy Peters. He put 2 right side tires on.
James Buscher in the 31 also with a good run tonight. Buscher running in the 4th spot. And Cole Witt right behind him. There's Timothy Peters in that 17.
I think if this race goes green the rest of the way, that gamble didn't work because Timothy Peters gave up 5th spot to come get those 4 tires. But I think it was a good gamble nonetheless because they were trying to make something happen. My hat's off to Butch Hilton for making that call and trying something.
If you follow the leaders, you'll follow the leaders.
And there is the lead that Casey Kane has now put on Todd Bodine.
Yeah, it's either Casey Kane was just having fun on his cup-off weekend and wanted to see how racy he could be with the 30 truck of Todd Bodine, or either Todd in the 30 used his stuff up trying to make something happen with Casey.
There again, Cole Witt running in the 5th spot. Still can't get around James Buscher in that 31. Those 2 running nose to tail. 31 of Buscher just in front of Cole Witt in the 60.
You know, if Cole Witt can maintain what he has here, he very well could leave Darlington as the points leader of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Another driver, you talk about points leader. How about the 92 of Clay Rogers? After Daytona, he was our points leader.
Yeah, came in here running in second the points. Ricky Benton, his owner from nearby here in South Carolina, currently running right now in the 13th position, doing a nice job. Struggled a little bit in practice. This is his first time here as well. He was one of the 17 drivers coming here for the very first time.
See right there, started back in the 26th position. I don't see a mark on that 92 truck.
And then just behind him, a couple trucks, we see the Geico number 9 of Max Pappas. Pappas trying to take the spot away from Kligerman. Those two run side by side as we knock down to 12 laps of racing to go.
Wasn't that many laps ago, Max Pappas got the Aaron's lucky dog back on the lead lap in the 13th.
And slow for Max Pappas now. It looks like running on the inside of that 29 didn't work out so well for him.
Well, I think it looks like even more than that, although was it just the momentum loss there that slowed him down that much? Looks like he may be back up to speed now. Such a momentum racetrack here. It looked like Max lost the momentum in it. Looked like it cost him about 2 seconds.
Yeah, and as he was zigging and zagging, guess who was coming along there? His teammate Justin Lofton in the 77 truck.
Right behind him, Travis Quaffle in the 5. Battle between the 13 and 17 for the 9th position, Johnny Sauter and Timothy Peters.
Now this is a battle between 2 tires on the Sauter on the 13, 4 tires on the 17 of Timothy Peters. These guys are losing touch with the leaders here with just outside of 10 laps to go.
Yeah, they're about 11 or 12 seconds behind Casey Kane in the 18 truck.
Next time by, Casey Kane will have just 10 laps of racing to go as he crossed the stripe. Still 21 trucks on the lead lap as Dusty Davis running in that 21st position, trying to hold on to a lead lap finish. Johnny Sauter just in front of Timothy Peters. You hear Peters getting back into the gas, trying to figure out a way around the 13.
Just about a lap ago, Matt Crafton in the 88 truck got by Elliott Sadler in the 2. That moves Matt Crafton up to the 6th position.
It's a nice comeback after his pit road penalty.
Not that many laps ago.
That's right.
Under 9 laps of racing to go. It's Casey Kane, Todd Bodine, Ron Hornaday, James Busher, and Cole Witt, your top 5. Crafton, Sadler, Dillon, Sauter, and Peters, your top 10. Hermie Sadler.
Hey guys, might want to keep an eye on the 33 truck of Ron Hornaday Jr. He reported about 2 laps ago a bad vibration developing in that truck. Jeff Hensley asking him to nurse it home, but looks like James Bush is going to be there contesting for that 3rd spot momentarily.
Yeah, he's definitely closing in, Hermie, and we have caution on the speedway with 8 laps to go. Perfect for Timothy Peters.
Oh, and Johnny Sauter as well. They're right now 9th and 10th with this double foul restart. They're going to be back in the 5th row. Well, we talked about Jeffrey Earnhardt overcoming such a terrible day, really. Yep. Losing his primary truck and never having run a lap on the racetrack till the race started with this truck, and unfortunately made some contact with the outside wall.
Now, I say perfect for Timothy Peters and Johnny Sauter. We need to get back racing pretty quick for those guys.
Yeah, they need laps. They need laps to make something happen.
We saw Mike Hillman Jr. and Tom Ackerman talking up on top of the pit box there. They're team members for the 30, and you see it was Earnhardt into the wall, leaving some debris on the racetrack after he got into the wall. So NASCAR throws the caution for the 10th time. That ties the record set back in 2004. And you remember who went to Victory Lane in 2004?
Here?
Yeah.
Casey Kane.
That's exactly right. And who's out front? Casey Kane right now. Can he last the final however many laps it'll be, under 5 laps when we go back to green flag racing?
We go back to our theme at the top of the show. I think it's safe to say Jeffrey Earnhardt's first date with the Lady in Black didn't work out too good.
But he's still one of the top 20 trucks on the lead lap. If they can get that thing patched together enough without losing a lap, then he will maintain a top 20 run.
That's what we have is 20 trucks on the lead lap.
Right on that.
Casey Kane just came on the radio and he says, "Do you guys want me to pit?" And Eric Phillips about flipped out. He started going, "No, no, 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 don't pit." Casey said, "Come on, man, I'm just kidding."
Still a little sense of humor there, obviously. Let's go trackside to Hermie Sadler.
Mike Hillman Jr., crew chief for Todd Bodine. You guys obviously staying on the racetrack. Another crazy restart coming up. You got anything for that 18?
That's our last chance right here. You know, he's got a little vibration. We overcome a little adversity. That first lap wreck, we had to go to the back. But our Germain.com Tundra is really good tonight, and these guys have worked really hard on it. And I just got to thank everybody at the shop because we've had a bad couple of weeks, the first couple of weeks here, and they've been working really hard to get everything put back together. We'll see if we got anything for the 18 here on this last restart.
We'll see what happens here. Another restart coming up. Todd Bodine, a good run so far, Rick.
Thanks, Hermie. We've got a possibility. Maybe we can talk with Todd Bodine.
Let's see if we can talk to him. Hey, Toddley, Phil Parsons up in the speed booth. You got me?
I got you, Philzy.
We just talked to Junior. He said this is your shot here. What are you going to have for this 18 truck on this restart?
Well, that's about the only shot we got. Truck's really pushing up behind these guys, and the right front tire's really bouncing right now. I mean, it's vibrating really bad. So, yeah, the only shot we got is on this restart. It's going to be interesting to see what lane he takes, which one he thinks he's going to get through one faster. But we've had a great run tonight. You know, we had gotten that little thing on the start of the race and had to go start in the back. And truck's been awesome. And Junior's made some good calls on the adjustment. As normal, we're great pit stops from Germain Racing. And we'll see what we got for him, man. Main thing is we got to get the checkered flag, though.
Yeah, 10-4. Obviously, I think Casey has been taking the outside each and every time. So can you beat him down in turn number 1? Can you time that restart where you're even with him getting down there?
Well, that's the whole trick. You know, hopefully I can. You know, it's really especially on these old tires. It's really easy to spin the tires, and that's where the difference comes in. If you don't spin them and he does, then you know he's liable to beat him down there. So hopefully I don't make any mistakes, which I've been known to do before. But we got a great Tundra. We had a great night so far, so it's all good.
If you want to jump early, we won't tell anybody.
Yeah, only about 40,000 sitting in the grandstands and a couple million watching at home, that's all.
I don't think those are the people you have to worry about. It's the folks in this next booth to ours are what you have to worry about.
Yeah, they frown on that just a little, don't they? I don't think they'll let you get away with it. So.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it and good luck.
Thanks, Phil.
So we're under 5 laps remaining. And again, after us, we've got live Supercross coming up. Can Villapoto go 3 in a row? You'll have to stick around.
Want to try to talk to Casey?
Let's try to talk to the leader.
Let's see if we can do that now. Hey, Casey Kane, Phil Parsons up in the speed booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you, Phil.
Man, that thing has looked awfully good tonight. You gonna pick the outside again on this restart?
Yeah, it just seems like that helps a little bit at 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Yeah, this Toyota been really good. Let's see what happens. Try to get through the gears good here and see what happens.
All right, man. You know, the last time out, you didn't get a win here. The first 2 times you won in the Truck Series. Last time you finished second. You gotta get back to the winning ways, huh?
Yeah, we're definitely going to try. The team's done a really good job. Kyle Busch Motorsports, these guys do a great job. And it's just fun to drive their truck. Just try to finish it up here.
Well, Kyle's watching from Cancun, and he's listening to it in Spanish. So if you know any Spanish, say something to Kyle.
I wish I did. I forgot about Spanish 2 years ago.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Great job.
Better here in a minute.
He may learn some Spanish here in just a moment. It'll be 3 laps of racing to go when they come back to the stripe. Casey Kane talking about choosing the outside line. So Todd Bodine will take the inside line. They're 1 and 2. Behind him, Hornaday, Buescher, Cole Witt, Matt Crafton, Austin Dillon, Elliott Sadler, Johnny Sauter, and Timothy Peters. With the freshest tires, he will restart in the 10th spot.
I think back to that last restart. Ron Hornaday in the 33 truck was on the inside. He made it work through 1 and 2. He just couldn't make it work in 3 and 4. Couldn't take the lead and actually lost the 2nd spot to Todd Bodine.
Todd Bodine was able to make the pass on the outside. And Kane has led 92 laps.
He led 95 laps here in 2004.
Let's see. We have 3 laps left. That would mean he would tie.
At least 3 laps left.
We have at least 3 laps left. The possibility of a green-white checker. Everyone on their feet from Darlington Raceway. Hands in the air waving as we get ready for what could be the final restart of the night. Coming out of turn 4, Casey Kane, Todd Bodine. They bump. The green flag flies.
Ron Hornaday in that 32-3 truck is all over the rear bumper. Todd Bodine side by side through 1 and 2.
We saw Austin Dillon get a little sideways. He's dropping back. They stay side by side as they go sideways. It's the 30 of Todd Bodine.
And that cost him right there. And not only did it cost him, it cost all those trucks right there. It's Hornaday and Crafton, and the 88 gets by.
Hornaday moves up to the second spot. Now Bodine back to speed. He's going to try to get second back away from the 33.
He forced the issue all he could. He had Casey up as high as he could put him.
2 laps remaining. Casey Kane trying to check out now on second. Ron Hornaday running second. Bodine is third. Crafton fourth. Busher is fifth. Timothy Peters has made his way up to 6th on the restart. Working their way through 3 and 4. This time by Casey Kane's going to see the white flag. One more time around Darlington Raceway.
Was tied against the outside wall.
He is trying everything he can to get by Hornaday in that 33 truck.
Remember, he told us the most important thing is to get to the finish here.
The battle for second continues. Kane now with a huge lead. Going down the backstretch. Hornaday stretching his lead over Bodine.
Watch Crafton in this 88 truck, though, through 3 and 4.
Now hard charging is Todd Bodine coming out of turn number 4. In 4 starts, this will be his 3rd win in the Camping World Truck Series.
Had 2 cars against the outside wall through turn 4 on the last corner.
Casey Kane wins once again. Hornaday holds on for second. Bodine third. Crafton fourth. Busher in fifth.
Awesome job, guys. Awesome job.
Pretty good record, huh, for Casey Kane in the Truck Series?
Absolutely unbelievable. Casey Kane has started 4 races. 3 of them he's won. The other one he finished second to Elliott Sadler.
At Pocono. 2nd win in a row for that 18 team led by Eric Phillips.
Casey Kane, the first driver to ever win 3 of his first 4 starts. He becomes the 2nd race car driver to win 2 times in the Camping World Truck Series here at Darlington. The previous one was Bobby Hamilton Sr.
It's been a while since he got to do one of these, and doesn't look like he's forgotten how to do a burnout.
I'm guessing Samantha and Kyle was Cancun, is that what we were talking about? They're clinging their glasses together after the success here at Darlington. Hola to Kyle and Samantha watching this race, as well as everyone else that was able to enjoy what Casey Kane can do behind the wheel here in the Camping World Truck Series.
Pretty much a clinic, I think. But we knew coming in here with Casey Kane in a potent truck like this, we know what Kyle does in this truck. He won half his starts last year, 8 out of 16.
Now driving for Kyle Busch, does he bow? Nah, he's going to throw the hands up in the air.
He has a little bit of everything. He has his Red Bull helmet on and his Great Clips uniform from his nationwide runs for Turner Motorsports.
In the Toyota truck.
Let's go down to Hermie.
Todd Bodine finished 3rd. What a heck of a race between you and Hornaday there at the end.
Yeah, I knew Casey was going to be tough, and we both spun the heck out of the tires. And I got mine hooked up first and beat him into 1, but didn't quite clear him enough to make it work. And these trucks are so aero dependent. When he was off my right rear quarter pound, I mean, it was, I don't know how I didn't wreck. I got lucky. You know, and Ron being right there, he took advantage. He did what a veteran would do, hang back that little bit, get that run to get underneath us. Yeah, I didn't quite get him cleared here. Ron's, yeah, it was a handful. It was a great race. I'll tell you what, I am so happy for Darlington Raceway. Look at the crowd we got. This tells you what the Truck Series is about. These fans are hardcore. They came out here on a Saturday night just to watch trucks race. Everybody at home, we appreciate you watching. Trucks are the greatest, man. I'm loving it. You know, we didn't want 3rd. 2nd would have been better, but we're back.
Todd Bodine finishes 3rd. Rick?
Thanks, Irving. And smiles on the face of Todd Bodine. I think that's what he gets when he races against Casey Kane and Ron Hornaday and battling for a lead. Stay with us.